For me, it's good enough.
Oh,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
all right. So well, I guess I should say my apology for not having a show yesterday. I was asleep after I spent most of the day in the ER for just whatever. We're not going to go too far into that, but when I got home, I was dead, and I needed sleep, and I went to bed, and I slept for like 14 hours. So
You can't
yeah,
be dead. You're undead.
yeah.
That's right.
So
You can't die if you're undead.
I went in. My son's room is right above like where the air conditioning. Like we have central air, because we're you know
Modern
American.
humans.
Yeah, we're modern humans, right?
Oh,
So, but like his room, his vent is like right over where the air conditioning unit comes into the house, and so it's like his room gets the coolest, the fastest out of any room, and so it was like one of those things where so I went and crawled in his bed, and like I was like, dude, I'm gonna go lay down in your bed for a little bit, and then I woke up at like 4 in the morning, and the entire house was asleep, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay, and then I was looking around, and then realized my son had just went to bed with his mom, and I was just like, that's fine. And I had the dogs. It was like, so that was good.
Hmm.
Just me and the dogs hanging out. Um, yeah, but anyway, enough about that. I don't know if we can really get too far into a Gen Con preview. I realize that like with next week we're probably not gonna have enough time to go through
no.
anything.
Not even close.
It'll be next
No.
week and the week after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have 2 weeks, and if we'd have to do about 155 to 160 games per night in order to get through the whole list, which I don't think we'll do. So I definitely think that someone should cultivate the list,
We will get through. You shut your filthy pie hole,
drop the
Pete.
junk, so we can get through the
We
good stuff.
will get through the list. We used to
Telling
do it in
you,
one
I'm
night. We're
happy
going
to
to break it
cultivate
into
that
two.
list.
Well, but if we put Keith in charge of the like, because he's like he shotguns through the stuff though,
He does,
I'll shotgun through it. We'll pause to talk when we want to talk.
but we
I'll
gotta like
shotgun it.
limit the bull crap talk about like stories of a game that no one cares about for like 30 minutes, because that's what killed us last time.
Hey,
I remember we were like 2 a.m. and we still had 100 titles left to go, and I was just like, F it.
We got through it. Well, that's why we're going to split it into two.
All right.
So that'll help.
Still think I
And-
like my idea that I posted that we should get everyone.
That is too organized, Peter.
I like organization. Organization is good.
I like organization too, but this show is herding cats, and therefore we shall herd the cats.
All right, Scott, give us the voice of reason.
I like talking about all the games.
See, Scott's not your ally on this.
I may not be the
You can
ally.
tell
Here's
which
the
people
thing,
are.
Pete. That which is one man's shite is another man's shinola.
I guess
Yeah.
so. So it looks like we'll have to plan a 6-hour show for next
Well, that's why we're splitting
start at
it
like
into
5
two.
o'clock.
We could go through it pretty quickly.
We can
As
burn
long
through
as
it.
we
How many,
don't get
how many
to the
games are on
Panther.
there now? How many games are on there now?
380 something.
I mean, we hit Japanime, we just skip it.
How long
I
did
went
Origins
through my
take?
list today and I knocked it down to 16 games.
Just out of curiosity, what are like the 16 that you are looking forward to like trying to snag?
I can pull that up super quick because there's a very handy site called Board Game Geek that allows me to do so.
That's right.
And I immediately cultivated the list by stuff that's out already, because there are about 5 or 6 titles on here that are already at retail. So like Batman Talisman, Die Hard, already out in retail. Those came off my list, even though I would love to see them at Gen Con if they weren't out. But since they were out, there was no reason to like make my scramble.
Yeah.
So
Does
That
anybody
which is
know
released,
anything?
I will blow through, by the way.
Does anybody know anything about the Nakatomi Plaza game? I mean, does
yeah, it
anybody
looks
know?
great. I saw it at
Oh.
Origins and actually saw a
You're so
demo of it.
gross.
Well, what
I-
type of game is it? Is one of my curiosity.
It's a Overlord game, right? It's one versus
Yeah,
many.
one person plays as Bruce
McClane.
Willis, and then everyone else plays as the terrorist trying to stop him. And it's basically like a small mission game. The board has got 4 folds. So the very first fold is like the beginning of the tower. And you basically go through trying to collect objects and objectives you're basically trying to get to the end of the game so that you can have a better chance of pushing Hans Gruber through the window. And the way the board unfolds the 4 maps. So you leave the board as it comes out of the box is the first map. Then you flip it open one time, and it's got a 2-tile map for the second level. Then you flip it over again, and it's got a 3-tile map for the third level. And then you open it up and flip the board over, and it's the top of the building where it becomes like a one-on-one with Hans Gruber. So it's kind of story-based, but you're only playing through 4 different missions to get to the end of the game to play. It looks cool. I saw there's a video on YouTube. It shows Ross from USAopoly playing with one of the design team and somebody else, and they ran through a quick game, and I think it was Rick from Game Trade Media, and they played like the first mission. It took like 15-20 minutes. So
Geek and Sundry has a how to play tutorial video too.
well, there you go. All right, so I've got
Game's already. Talisman Batman's already sold out of cool stuff. Fuck.
Oh, the Talisman one?
How's that possible?
So let's see. Games I'm definitely on my must-have. Actually, I guess I trimmed it down even further. But I've got from Mondo Games, I wanted the Unmatched series because that looks really cool. Being able to fight Bigfoot versus Bruce Lee versus Robin Hood versus all the different historical characters.
Did you ever play Epic Duels?
Yeah, I have Star Wars Epic Duels. It seems a lot like that.
They modified it a bit.
Yes, but it's got like cooler. They got so many good licenses from their art licenses that it's going to be a blast. And then I got 2 games from Spin Master, the Sinister Six and the Wakanda Forever. Sinister Six I talked about at Dice Tower with Daryl Andrews, who said he showed me one of the prototypes of it, and it looks awesome. So I'm real excited about that. And I'm a huge Black Panther fan, so Wakanda Forever, whether it's good or bad, will be in my collection. Die Hard, which again, it's supposed to be out this week. I know Chris Leader posted on Facebook that he got one already. My local game stores don't have it yet. He may just be a shipping thing where they'll be getting it in the next few days. But if it's not out by the time I leave for Gen Con, then I'll get it. But I'm pretty sure it'll be out soon. Cartographers, the role player tale, definitely grabbing that. Anything role player is an insta back for me. Skull Tales, that pirate game. They're going to be
That's
selling.
Really good. They're
going to be selling the Kickstarter bundle at Gen Con for $150. I may even pre-order that one to make sure I get it. But I'm trying to look.
Only bringing 50.
Yeah, see, in eBay they've got pledges of it for like $160 with free shipping. So I may just order it ahead of the show so I don't have to fight for it. Because
are we going through the list already for?
No, Lance asked me just for a few of my must-haves, so I'm reading off just my must-haves, just the ones that I had it to 16, but I cultivated it down to about a half a dozen, just because I knew that I'm going to be so busy doing work stuff that I'm probably not going to be able to hunt down 16 titles. So that's the like 7 or 8 that I'm going to make sure I walk away with.
I picked up this Skull Tales. That's the one that's at Whatchamadig. What company is that again?
I don't know. I took it off my list because I was planning on buying it on eBay, just so I could get it ahead of time because it's already out. Kickstarter backers have their copies, and then this guy's going to sell leftover Kickstarter copies at Gen Con. Which, if I couldn't get one of these eBay ones, I'd probably get it at Gen Con for the $150. But I just don't know. I'm going to have to ship it back, and if I can get one for free shipping, that's like $10 more. It'll be cheaper than getting that and shipping it back. So, but Skull Tales is. It's Eclipse Games.
It's at the Van Ryder booth.
Yeah, it's at Van Ryder booth, but it's by Eclipse Games. It looks great. Like the game looks awesome.
Well, no, it is really fun, but I'm annoyed with I'm wondering what the Kickstarter bundle is because I got mine for like $99.
So the Kickstarter base pledge is the stretch goals, the game, and then one mega expansion that comes with a bunch of little stuff. Then there's the all-in pledge, which is like a $300 thing, which is not available at Gen Con. He's only selling the base game plus the mega expansion at Gen Con for $150. But if you buy the base pledge bundle, it's basically the same package at Gen Con. Most people on eBay are selling it for around $169 free shipping to $170, and he's selling it for $150. But of course, you still got to get it home, and it's 2 big boxes, so it's kind of a tit for tat. You could get it on eBay for about the same price and probably get it back and have it shipped direct to you, and you can get it now, so you can actually get it before the show. So I'm thinking about just doing that to save the amount of crap I got to bring back.
Just do it.
And then Roll for Adventure, that was another one. I'm curious about it. That's from Cosmo. There's a pre-order for that. You can get it for like $29 from pre-ordering through BGG. It's already in my cart with the role player thing, so I may pre-order those too, and then just hand grab the rest of the stuff depending on if I can get to it before they sell out.
Are you doing Black Angel?
No, I don't know about Black Angel, so that didn't make my list. I don't know anything about it.
Black Angel's the only for sure thing.
You pretty much want it.
Do I? What's it about? Can you give me like the 5-second elevator
pitch? It's a
pitch?
dice worker placement game. You're traveling through through space to like planet. You're colonizing. You're on your way to colonize a planet. I think there's a bunch of robot stuff. Your dice worker placement, like Troy.
And let me go unfilter my Gen Con preview and then look at it.
Eric did a 50-minute video on it.
50 minutes?
50.
That's long for him. He must have really liked it.
I guess he's had it since the beginning of the year.
What's the publisher?
Asmodee.
So I can look at it faster.
It's you could just search for Angel and it should pop up.
Oh wow, Gen Con preview's up to 513 titles now.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo my filters because there's a whole bunch of new games that just popped up now. It was 391 this afternoon. It was 391 this afternoon when I did it. Now it's showing 513 titles. So
Pearl Games is it? But if you just type Black Angel or Angel, it'll come up.
Black.
It's not on for pre-order, Scott.
It's not.
Black Angel. All right, I'm gonna flip it to must-have just because of you because I trust your opinion. But I'll have to look at it. I'll look at it a little closer.
I've got 19 games on my list to look at.
Wow.
Potentially buy. Of those, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them I've already pre-ordered outside of Gen Con before the Gen Con list even went up.
I pre-ordered.
Oh, okay. I see what it is. My filter reset. So it's 391 titles for sale, 513 total, including for demo. That's why.
You had for sale filter.
I had it earlier, and it must have not saved it when I came back to the site. It still showed the 513 again. So
I have one demo game on here, which is I want to look at Return to Dark Tower.
I saw that at Dice Tower. They were talking about that, and they said the tower was amazing. Like it has like magnetic doors that pop open and lights that they said it was an incredible thing. I didn't get to actually see it myself, but a few of the Dice Tower people got to play it with the Restoration Games team, and they had nothing but good things to say about it.
The backers of Mourner's Court of the Dead, Mourner's Call are like losing their minds over the fact that they're going to be selling them at Gen Con.
Of course they are.
But and then nobody's gotten their.
By the way, I haven't got my what am I trying to think of? Something recent.
Paul, we are doing the list this year. We're just not doing it until next week and the week after. We're just talking about a few of our must-haves for tonight.
I can tell you what I've already pre-ordered.
I haven't pre-ordered shit.
I wish everything on my list was available for pre-order. The Spin Master stuff is hard to get, and I would love to just know I've got it locked up ahead of time because the Spin Master.
Wait a minute, the Spin Master stuff?
Yeah, that's the Sinister Six in Wakanda Forever. Their booth is usually on the other side of the hall by the tournament area, and it usually takes me forever to go get to it. So by the time I get there, and a lot of times they'll allocate per day because their stuff is all usually like licensed stuff like Marvel. There was something last year. I think it was Hail Hydra I tried to get, and every time I went there, it was like, nope, not yet. It was a pain in the ass.
So there's one thing I'm going to. I reached out to Sandy Peterson to see if he'd do this for me. I don't know if he can or not, but my one giant expenditure is going to be for like the all-in for that. The God of War Gloron.
Yeah. Rob grabbed that at Origins, and it took 3 of us to carry all of it back to his room. It was so freaking huge.
I reached out to him and I said, "Is there any way that I can buy this from you like now and have you ship it to me so I don't have to worry about trying to get this giant thing home?" Mm-hmm. And I haven't heard back yet. Otherwise, I did talk to the guy at the booth, and he's gonna they're only gonna have like 10 of the all in. And I was like, I don't have enough room. I can't get it home. And he was just like, "Well, I'll save one for you for Gen Con because I'm driving into Gen Con." So
that is the main reason why Skull Tales I'm thinking about buying ahead of time, because everything else on my list is a small or medium-sized box that if I bring my extra suitcase like I normally do, I can probably get everything home with me. Skull Tales is big with both boxes. That's why I'm hoping to nail that one early. Everything else on my list is all like medium and small size boxes, and I think I can get everything on my list except for Skull Tales in my big suitcase, so I don't have to worry about shipping or having people drive my stuff back for me. I will say there is a sleeper hit that I'm getting that I'm hoping is just amazing, but I don't know if you guys have seen this one from Big G Creative, the Kenny G game, Keeping It Sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I'm
No.
buying that. There's
Speaking of
no
pirates.
way I'm not walking out of Gen Con with that. I don't care how
They-
horrible
I
it
think
is.
they have signed ones too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, even better. That
Yeah,
looks
Steph got a signed one.
it looks like it's either a train wreck waiting to happen or it's going to be an amazing game with a really awkward theme that's just
I
going
don't
to
know.
be
Monster
fun.
Crunch was good. So
Monster Crunch was great, and that was one of those surprise ones. I was like, "Oh my god, I got to get it!" Not to mention the free box of cereal, but the Kenny G Keeping It Sexy, love it, absolutely love it. Oh, that one's at Target already. I can take it off my list then.
Yeah.
hey,
sorry.
Lance, is Old West
Thanks,
Impresario any
Paul.
good?
it's very good. If you like Pioneer Days, you'll like that.
I have not played Pioneer Days.
Can you
It's his
pre-order?
title placement, and
There is no pre-order for it now.
You guys. Correct.
Hey, you crack me up.
oh,
Speaking of which,
it's on my list to check out.
Lance
What is
and Aldi is if there's any scheduled meeting you'd like to have with Come On at the Come On booth, let me know. Shoot me an email and we will book it. I'm starting my appointments now that I finally decompressed from Dice Tower and have gotten back to my normal workflow. I'm starting to take meetings with media at the show to go over it.
When do I go over there and meet it with your boss so I can make sure he gets me that?
That can happen during the meeting as well. We'll both be on booth almost the whole time. We're going to be taking a few meetings off booth, but most meetings will be on booth. So any board game media that are here or listening, email me and I will be happy to set up meetings with you during the show hours.
World West is not on the list.
It is not because
No, I didn't see it. I actually looked for that one because I'm interested in that one.
It sadly won't be there in time. It's on. It'll release late August.
It's surprising how many of these Gen Con games are already in retail. Like a lot of these guys didn't hold them for Gen Con release. Like I looked at the Onkama games, like Monster Slaughter, Tales of Glory, already out in my local store. So it's nice because I can take a lot of the stuff off my list ahead of time. But I'm just surprised, and I'm wondering if a lot of people are trying to beat the Gen Con punch so they don't get lost in the shuffle by releasing now versus waiting for the show.
Tales of Glory, I had in my top 10 from last year. I like it.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
It's a good game.
Picked that one up already.
Fun.
I bought that one just because it looked like an old VHS tape. I love nostalgic stuff. I'm a sucker for that. Anything nostalgia. On Tour, that one came out already. I think I got that one at Origin, so that one's been out for a while.
I didn't know you guys were redoing Deluvia Project. Did I miss something? I guess I missed it. The announcement of that. Tacey Mitchell redid Deluvia Project.
We did.
Fix the colors?
Yes, we did.
Good. That was
so are any of you familiar with Weiss Schwartz? The card game, collectible card game?
Schwartz?
Because
the Batman one?
The Batman Ninja. I saw Batman Ninja and instantly said I got to get it, but then I saw it's part of a larger game called Weiss Schwartz, and I don't know anything about that game. So I'm trying to decide if it's still worth getting or if it's just something I wouldn't be able to use.
We did a overview video on it.
Okay. So is Weiss Schwartz just like this giant collectible card game where you can take all the different themes and just plug and play, build decks? Because that's kind of what it sounded like from the little thing I read on it.
It's a standalone game, though. I recall, like, from the demo, it looked like it was pretty but it has all this great, like, alternative Batman artwork from, I don't even know what it was. Like, I guess Batman.
So the Batman Ninja is actually an animated movie about an alternate timeline where Batman and all of his Arkham villains get sent into feudal Japan, and they kind of build up their own kingdoms and war at each other until they can find a way to get back to present time, and it's awesome.
It looked like a full standalone game. It did not require.
So there's 2 decks in this little Batman Ninja box set that so I can play against people with just the Batman Ninja stuff? From what you think you saw,
I don't know.
if that's the case, then I'll put it back on my list because it's something that looks awesome. The Batman Ninja animated movie was fantastic. So
Cards, trial deck, 50 cards, English edition.
yes, when I saw Trial, it made me think that it was part of something bigger.
I don't know. I maybe the video has some more data in it. I'm more info. I haven't watched that video since.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it as interested then until I get more. I mean, I may just get it for the artwork if it's got artwork from the.
It's weird. Like there's absolutely no discussion about it. The one video that it has is our video.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah.
Rado. Hey, Rado, get in here.
I am here.
Oh,
I've been here the whole time.
I was reading you. I'm not even. I was looking at chat. Sorry, I didn't know you were here. What's going on, man?
No. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Richard Ham.
My man.
I played Outer Rim.
What'd you think?
It's not for me.
Not for you.
I want it to be for me so badly. Like it's just so slow. I mean, we were timing turns. It was like 20-minute rounds, basically. Just too long.
Oh wow, you're playing with a slow group. Then we played the whole game in 90 minutes.
The way.
Yep, second game 90 minutes.
I can't believe.
No. Played a 3-player game and played a 3-player game. The second game, first game was a 4-player game. We played it in about 2.5 hours. But that was a learning game. Second game, it was 3 of the 4 people that played in the first game, and we played the game in 90 minutes. 95 minutes, I think, was our time.
That doesn't compute.
You guys must have some bad AP then. We didn't have. I mean, I've only played the couple games.
Slow.
It's not that slow.
It is. It's very slow. What are you talking about?
We didn't have that problem.
You play correctly? I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I'm sure you did.
The force clearly wasn't with you.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have any problems. There's a couple rules we had to look up
at all.
With the jobs. We had a couple rules about the jobs and how the jobs work that we had to look up and make sure we're playing right, but the rest of it seemed to flow pretty smoothly.
90 minutes?
Yeah. 3-player. Again, 3-player game, not 4-player game.
2-3 fame.
I actually, the game I played did not take that.
Unfortunately, I will not play it again. But
well, we played our games to 8 fame. 8 fame, because 8 fame is what they recommend for your first few plays, and then 10 fame is the normal game. But I mean, I ended up with 9 fame in the game we won, and it wouldn't have taken me but another turn to get to 10 fame, so it wouldn't have taken much longer than 95 minutes had we played to 10. But yeah, it recommends you play it like 8 fame for your first couple games as you learn the rules and stuff.
I can't. I need to watch a video recording of someone playing in 90 minutes because even just reading the cards alone takes 2-3 minutes.
Well, what is? Can't you read?
There's a couple videos out there. There's one decent one that I used to help me play the game. It was pretty good. It's by a guy who actually demos for Asmodee, so he made a video about it. So and it's a pretty solid one. So I recommend checking that out. It's on. There's only a couple of them. Well, there are probably more now, but
maybe we did something wrong, but I don't think so.
Huh.
Yeah, you probably did something wrong. You didn't play better.
No, it could just be that the people in your group take a little more time to think of their turns, which may drag it out some. Because I definitely have heard that if you have
no time to think of your turns, I mean,
Scott,
I'm just talking about the
only one playing it right, and everyone else.
It's the process of the game, right? I mean, so let me run through it. You decide whether to move or whether to take money. That's easy, or heal.
Right.
That's 1 second.
Yep.
You move.
Yep.
You go to a spot.
Mm-hmm.
You do a market action.
If you're on a planet, yeah.
Correct, which is like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, most of the time.
Which means you have to evaluate 6 decks
and
decide, do I want anything? Do I want to flip a card?
Right, you can kill a card to the bottom.
You can think about it. Then you decide if you want to buy something.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least 30 seconds to a minute.
If you're not evaluating all that when it's not your turn, which is what
we
usually do.
Because it all changes by the time your turn comes around.
Not really, because only one deck's getting killed and one deck's getting bought from. So only 2 of the 6 decks potentially are going to change each player turn. And if a player doesn't even drop on a planet, their turn's over like that because they're either collecting money, moving, and then they're at a planet. They just do a non-planet action card and then done. So we didn't find it. Although I will say we did a lot of the pickup and delivery and a lot less of the bounty hunting. So we were doing a lot more traveling, which meant there was a lot more people not on planets because they were traveling distances for drop off and pickup. So that may have changed our time, but what you're experiencing, we did not experience in both of our games. But it could just be circumstance. I mean,
I can't see how that game is finished in 90 minutes. Maybe. Okay. Anyway. Now, Premiere, I loved.
Scott, can I ask you a question that has nothing to do with any of this? Oh, on PAX Premiere, the Myth of the Heavy game?
PAX Premiere 2nd edition? It's not that heavy.
No, it isn't. I was actually kind of disappointed in the heaviness of it. I expected it to be. I wanted it to be brain bending, and it just wasn't. So
it's still brain bending though,
but
in a different way.
I mean, it's good.
It's not chromy.
I wanted something more.
You wanted something more.
I wanted something more. I still enjoyed it.
I'm still thinking about that game.
Well,
anyway.
So, I'm thinking about you posted the floor thing for BGGCon. The picture of the floor
plan. Yeah,
the floor plan, right?
Yeah.
And then like I got my email about where we're at as far as the draft, and so like I noticed that BGGCon, the store or whatever, gets to draft first. What kind of bullshit is that?
We're not even in the draft because we're on a separate space.
What do you mean?
Lance.
Hey, shut up, Barry.
No, we don't. We're outside of the grid.
He says he's so important. He's got his own shit. He doesn't have to deal with you people.
My God.
Did you get the email, Richard, from Jeff?
Yes, we did. Okay. We are on the draft list in the last place, and you'll note, unlike some,
it's going to be fine.
We're not complaining.
It's going to be fine.
Well, so here's the deal.
We're all good.
Hey, listen to me for a second. God, nobody ever pays any attention to me. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's done talking. We'll just move on here."
So, we don't know when they're done talking.
God, who put a nickel in you? What the hell? Anyway, so we draft fourth. TMG.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah. 10 years, and so we draft. Yeah.
Who beat you?
Decision Games, Asmodee, and Eagle Griffin.
Who's the first one? Decision Games?
No, Eagle Griffin. Eagle Griffin's
been from the very first convention.
Well, sure, Eagle and Asmodee, but who was the
Decision Games?
Decision Games is a really, really good war game.
Yeah.
And they always have that little tiny booth with the same like 20 games they have for sale and all those Consim World magazines. And there's always like the grognards puttering over there, looking for a deal. And I just picked up a decision game. Yeah, I just picked up a game from them. I picked up Zeppelin Raider, which is somebody told me it was a really good solo game. So I'm gonna be playing. I'm gonna dig that out and play that one of these days coming up soon. But anyway, so we draft fourth, right, which is awesome. Recognizing greatness. Thank you. But then I'm looking at the floor plan or whatever that you.
Do you have it handy? You can bring it up, and I can see what you're talking about.
Well, just hold on. I gotta find it. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on.
While he's doing that, Pete, Girly Gamer requests more of your pretty face.
I know she must be
as opposed to your pretty forehead.
Yeah.
And all he's going to get is eyebrows.
You were kind of doing a...
I'm Wilson. I like the Wilson look. You don't see my double chin as much when I do that. It just keeps it at nose level.
Good call.
You
could just put your camera way up high so you're looking up at it all the time.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
My neck would hurt, but I would look fabulous.
Exactly.
Look at the puppy. What's the puppy's name, Richard?
This is Daisy.
Oh, Daisy.
So speaking of solo games, have any of you gotten a pre-release copy of Era Medieval Age? And if so, how is it? Because it says 1 to 4 players, and it looks like a game in my wheelhouse, being medieval, but I've not seen anything about it.
It's from Asmodee, so I don't know if I'll.
I thought it was Eggertspiel.
Oh, is it from
Yeah,
Eggers?
It's Eggers
Plan
Oh,
B, yeah.
well,
Yeah, Eggers.
which means it's from Plan B in America, I assume?
I believe so, yeah.
Which also means I'll never
You're not gonna
get a
get it.
copy of it.
Did
The
you
two
ever
companies that
play-
hate my guts.
Piss some
You ever played
people
Roll
off.
Through the Ages?
No, I've not played Roll Through the Ages.
Okay, then I can't compare it to that. But
Okay.
it's like Roll Through the Ages.
All right, so there's the floor.
Oh yes.
Look
the
at it.
floor.
It's
The-
beautiful.
It's like a real convention.
It's full of stars.
It's
Yes.
not 2 rooms.
All right, so it says here
Alaboom.
that's it. Be quiet for a second. Let me ask you a question. So it
Ask
says
the
right there,
question. People demand more Daisy. That's what I'm just trying to.
is there okay? There's an entrance right there.
Yes.
But is that it?
Yeah.
Are those 2 entrances? Those 2 stairways?
They
Unlike
are 2 entrances, but I don't know if we're gonna have both of them open.
okay,
Maybe we will. Probably
so
will.
we have a 10 by 20,
Yep.
and we draft 4th.
Yes.
So,
So you want 303, 203, or 103, or 603.
so we're guaranteed.
Although
one
those
of
are 20. Those are 22 by 22 and 2 inches, I believe, is what those guys.
Well, that's my choices. Though,
there's
right?
an upscale price on those. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an extra $300 or whatever if you want an end cap. But those are the only 10 by 20s you have.
Oh, but you can make 10 by 20s. Like you'll
By
take
2
like
10 by
3
10s.
if you want 304 and 306, for instance, right? To join.
Well,
it,
I
you can
don't.
join it.
I want 103, 203, or 303. I want one of
Yeah.
those 3.
Okay.
And I can only assume Asmodee is going to take one of those big ones, like a 401
Most
or
likely
501.
they will. Well, you never know. BGG, I don't think they have as big a presence as normal. They may not take one.
No,
of the
they
big
have.
ones.
They do. They have that whole wall
Yeah, they
last
bought-
year.
I think they bought 12 booths last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
I
not
don't
one
know what
individual
they're doing.
booth is a big one. They
Right.
could all be just smaller ones that they line
But
up together.
if they took 12 booths, they
I
can't
think
take
they're gonna-
all of the end caps or something. Can they?
No. They're probably gonna be in the middle somewhere.
They'll probably take a whole row out.
Probably, but they do draft before you, so they could.
Yeah. All they do is
They could
demo them.
technically
Draft before
take
you?
all the end caps across the.
I don't think
the front.
Asmodee drafts before you, do they?
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
So that's 12 booths in one person. So you're really like drafting like 14th.
no. They're how many people?
They're going to get all their booths.
I think we have 3,500 this year.
Yeah.
3,600.
I mean, they will draft all their booths. I'm assuming. I mean, they're all one company, and they bought X booths, so they're going to get to draft all of them.
They'll put it all together like they did last.
Yeah,
year.
I'm sure they will.
They're going to do a cluster. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that makes most sense.
I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be getting one of those lands.
Well, you better make it happen. That's all I'm saying.
Or what?
They're listening now, and they're like,
Well,
"Screw that, Lance.
You
Guy,
guys
we're
want
gonna
to do
take all
your
the end
pre-orders
caps."
for it through us?
You should actually go for 603 because that's closer to the BGG store.
Yeah,
There's a lot
higher
more
traffic. There will be more traffic there.
because that's the busiest booth in the place.
Correct. That's actually a good call.
No, it isn't. But anyway,
He wants to walk in the front door.
so there we go. That's. I just wanted to quiz you on
No, the
that.
booth, the layout looks nice. I'm excited because we've always had it split. Well, prior to BGG prior to the Hyatt, we had all the exhibitors in the exhibit halls. If you remember those little like snakes things we did.
Yeah. I'm wondering, will we? I look forward to hosting being the sponsor of the poker thing again. That was fun.
Did you see the rooms where you can reserve the whole room?
No,
Oh, okay.
should I have?
I don't know if you guys. It's on the mail out. If you have that.
People don't read Oldie.
I know.
Yeah.
Believe me. I tell Jeff, I go, you're writing too much.
You gotta make.
But
nice
it's all
pictures.
there. All the information is there. We double checked it last night.
You said that yourself. Nobody reads.
I know.
You gotta set up a YouTube presentation for them. I'd be
Yeah.
quick about it.
Oh, we've done that too, Barry.
Did you?
Pre-order system has 2 YouTube videos. One is a 2-minute video, and one is a 10-minute video.
They're too long. You gotta
And
be
they're
30
too long.
seconds.
Yeah, it's like
45 seconds.
like whatever. If you don't want to sell your own games, I mean, I listen to Richard's podcast, and it gobsmacks me that people don't utilize BGG as any form of marketing.
Throwing money away.
It's like, I mean,
Hey,
whatever.
one company did today.
What's up? Oh, the yellow.
Yeah.
the yellow email. That's pretty cool.
What was that? I didn't.
Well, I
hear
was
that.
in one of the. I was poking around the tabletop Kickstarter's Facebook group, which was one of James Matthews' groups, I believe. I think it still is. but it there was someone's like, how do I develop an organic presence on BGG unpaid? Like that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, this should be interesting. I'll read it. And I read it. And there were some good positive things. And then one person was like, BGG is a necessary evil that we have to put up with. And I'm like,
whoa, that's not very flattering.
Why? And I asked like in the group, like, why, if anybody has a problem like this, what is the reason? Nobody's written me yet, by the way.
You need an alter ego, Wally.
I'm just like, what is the what?
Yeah, you
uploading an image, is that so hard? I don't understand.
No, I think it's better when he just shows up and people are like,
I'm open to it. Like if someone truly feels BGG is a necessary evil, like I want to know why, honestly.
Right. It's good feedback for you in case
it's necessary, sure, but what's
Yeah, but I'm not sure a lot of people will say something to his face if it's negative.
I mean,
I
agree that it's not BGG necessarily, but rather the negative feedback they get via their customers on BGG, and they'd rather just shut that out.
Oh yeah.
That strikes me as a bit of a problem. That's more just that means their email contact@whatever.com is a necessary evil.
Right. An email from their website.
Customer service is a necessary evil.
Yes, and that is true. I'm sure every publisher when
these customers would just shut the hell up and take it.
We give them and come back for more.
Scott, what is our tepid lemonade situation for at the new place?
I don't know. I think it's coffee actually this year. I'm not sure.
Tepid coffee.
I'll try to get lemonade in there for you though. I know you love it.
It's gonna be cold coffee.
Have you looked at the full floor plan? We're gonna be putting in some steps, my friend.
Oh really?
It's a big hotel.
Is what? Yeah, I mean, where's the map? Let's see it.
I need something to do when I'm up early in the morning.
Let me see if I can give you the map.
Did you rent out the whole hotel this time, Aldi, or no?
Almost all of it.
Wow.
There's a few things that we don't have, but maybe next year.
I'm assuming
it's really not a lot. We've got the big spots.
I assume the retail row is not just right across the hallway from the main play hall, or
like it used to be.
It is a escalator ride up.
Escalator.
What?
God, you making people
bring that map back up. Let me see if I can find it.
So, Scott,
it's
how
big.
How much will one of those breakout rooms cost?
Do you have the email handy?
I do.
We have a group chat.
It doesn't.
It's in the $5,000 range, I think. $4 to $5.
$5,000.
Yeah, it's a room reserved for you for the whole convention.
Just for you,
sleep in it. You could.
Is there tepid lemonade included?
I'm sure we could probably get you some.
Does anyone have an opinion on Detective City of Angels?
Is it out?
It's very good.
It was at Origins and it's on the list for Gen Con. I'm trying to decide whether to pull trigger. It looked like it was cool, but there was a lot of stuff.
Very cool.
Uh-huh.
I also just bought Chronicles of Crime, so I'm trying to decide if I need to do detective games.
I played Dark Domains. I learned that.
Oh yeah,
I love that game.
You liked it?
Awesome.
I did. I liked it. Richard would hate it.
I bet.
It's got a lot of just being an asshole in it if you play it right. For worker placement, it's a little bit different. But it's pretty cool. I think it is a nice, unique twist on worker placement to have a lot more player interaction than they typically have.
Would there be any possibility that we could at one day at BGG Con this year, we could have Dark Richard show up and you could just play evil games and be mean to people,
right.
And I don't know. I mean, you'd have to shave and then one day have the Spock goatee or something like that and come down.
You just put some grease in it.
Sure.
It'll black.
Like a small world, I'm afraid.
Oh, I would do that. If you played mean and evil, I would submit myself to the horror that is Small World, just to play a game where you were just capricious and evil the entire time.
Actually, my entire game in Small World is just convincing everybody else that I'm no danger, when in fact I am the danger that knocks, and just nobody notices because I direct everybody to other stuff.
Hey, Richard, I got a question for you. you spent most of your gaming life with Jen, right? As
Yes.
your only player, right?
My board gaming life, sure.
Yeah. So I'm curious, if you played with other people, do you think that not wanting to, attack other people and all that, do you think that would be different?
No, I know for a fact it's not. It's not just related to Jen. I am just missing that gene that allows me to take pleasure from the virtual suffering of others.
You made video games where people were like tortured.
Yeah.
Yes, but they were not other human beings playing those games. Is basically what it boils down to.
Deathmatch.
So I don't have a particular problem with dark themes or all of that stuff. I just do not like messing with other human beings stuff. I've never heard a better analogy than yours. I do not like kicking down other people's sandcastle. It's what I use all the time now because I'm pretty sure I heard it from your show, Lance.
Yeah, well.
I think you do the sandcastle, and sometimes you talk about stomping in gardens.
Yeah, stomping in gardens, or
yeah, and those are perfect. I mean, to me, me messing with you in it would be tantamount to me literally stomping around in your beautifully tended flower garden IRL. And I know it's not. I know everybody's there to have fun, and it's all just part of the good-natured. You got my rose bed. It's destroyed. I'll get you. But I feel any game where I spend half my time saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I really have to do this. This is just my best move." I'm not having fun.
I don't know. I kind of feel that way most of the time, but every once in a while I'll get the itch for a good competitive game where I just want to just go head to head with my closest friends and just beat the crap out of each other. And it's not often, it's not all the time, but every once in a while, if I play too many cooperative games, I'll get the itch for a competitive game.
There have been. I mean, there are a few. Like that Stronghold game, Confusion. I mean that's something Jen and I enjoy. Although that's a large part because of the toy factor of it with the hidden deduction and I don't know exactly how my guys can move. Are you lying to me? I mean, we really like that one. And there was one a few years ago from Golden Egg, Atlas. We thought was actually really, really cool.
You said Golden Egg.
I'm always loath to even mention it, but I do have to wonder if Elad is dead actually, or something really bad has happened to him.
No, he's okay.
Nope, he's fine.
Busy?
Just chilling in Israel.
I mean, does somebody know that for a fact? Because I haven't heard from him.
We saw him last Gen Con.
Yep.
He pitched games
a year ago. Yeah. No, but I'm saying I tried to reach out to him like November of last year.
Lance has talked to him more recently.
I'm
Lance
sure
also updated us at one point that you said you'd talk to him. When was that, Lance? That was after Gen Con, but it was.
He reached out on like Facebook. Yeah, it was like towards like
holiday.
Yeah, it was holiday time. Just it was just a random, hey, how you been, blah blah, blah kind of thing.
So half a year ago.
Where's my buddy Pete's damn copy of Airlines?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me talk about this map so I can shut it down.
Hey, it's a map.
You got me, Lance? I mean, you brought it up. I
brought it up, but I'm curious.
Oh, okay.
All right. So this looks like okay, where that pole is where the dancers, right?
Yes. Yeah. You put you.
That's where you're set up, right?
Yeah, you're set up right. You're set up up here, Lance. We got you a special spot right on top of the ball.
Look how many tabs this guy has open.
Yeah. Well, no, these are my bookmarks, basically.
Which one's Pornhub?
Oh, now I don't even look at the map. Now I'm just trying to just.
All right. Well, now you guys, I'm gonna
from the icons.
Oh, you're killing me.
There's Pandora.
Oh yeah.
Is that Napster?
No,
that little panda thing. No. Isn't that the Napster logo?
That looks like Tinder right there.
That is Netflix.
No. To the right of the 3 Kickstarters that you must be tracking right now.
I don't know what that is.
It's a panda.
It's a panda. I don't know. I don't know what that one is actually. Honestly.
Which one's barely legal?
There's nothing up there that's going to be that exciting. Okay, so Exhibit Hall is Marsalis Hall.
Yeah, okay.
So this is
Winston Marsalis.
Down. There's no basement stuff.
There's no what?
No basement stuff this time. This is ground floor.
Technically, this is the basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, where's the new glass cock?
Yeah, where's the new glass cock?
I think it's over here. I think I'm actually getting my own room this year. Like just
What?
me. Yeah, something like that. Like I forget, it's going to be A, B, or C. I don't remember which one.
So that's where the boomers are going to hang out the whole time?
Something.
Pretty much.
And then
That's usually where we end up.
I think the library is L, J, K, and I all together.
What? It's not on the floor with the
okay.
gaming hall? What are you, what?
There's no room. And then these are the rooms you guys can reserve. Like if you want to fork up the money to buy a room. So these H, G, F, and E.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the escalators go up to the lobby. That's ground floor.
Let's all go.
Landmark Ballroom is the main gaming hall. Reunion Ballroom will be overflow gaming and special events.
So Marsalis Hall is not going to be used.
That's the exhibitor hall.
So
that's
how big?
Oh, I see. That's exhibitor hall. Okay.
How big is Landmark compared to the hall we used in the past?
I think it's twice as big.
Really?
40,000 square feet.
So that means that exhibit
Twice.
hall is gigantic.
Oh, these things are fucking massive. This is 40,000. This is
You gonna go to the
40,000.
fucking mall later too? What the?
Yeah. Well, look at it. It's obviously been fucked. Look at that big phallus going through the middle of the.
Yeah, I know. Just dropping F bombs left and right.
Reunion Ballroom
It's
is special event.
Thursday. What do you expect?
Yeah, I know it's not Wednesday. Jeez,
Yeah, what the fuck?
my language filter goes out the window on Thursday.
Motherfucking Thursday.
No, Jesus. What the hell?
Pegasus. Oh my god.
Scott, what's the microphone going through the hotel there?
It's a
It's
Reunion
okay.
Tower.
So Landmark Ballroom and the Reunion Ballroom are both all gaming?
This is open gaming. This is special events and gaming.
Okay.
So it'll be both.
All right.
And then this is the hot games room.
It's got its own room again.
That's
Excellent.
Pegasus Ballroom. And then if you go up one more level, this is basically like war games, and this is all like the Cotton Bowl room is all prototype all the time.
Cool.
Prototypes. And then these are like quiet games and that kind of
Okay.
stuff, right? Like just
Where are you putting the werewolf people?
Yeah, there we
I
go.
suspect it'll be back here.
Yeah,
You
as
know,
far
it's
away
quiet.
from everyone else as possible.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always check on to make sure I didn't screw up. Yep, there we go. I did not screw up the fact that we have our rooms at the
So the
Hyatt
bar-
Regency.
The bar is right here. Mondules. This is a giant bar, this whole thing.
Mhm.
And there's couches and tables all through here. Crutchfields is like, I think it's just going to be tables for us. And then these are like private rooms, more for like more, like breakout room type thing. And then I don't know what Brian Beeman is. I can't remember what that one is. And then we do not have any of this stuff. This is what we don't have,
Okay.
which is just a bunch of small rooms on a like a mezzanine level.
I remember a few years ago,
Cool.
you had a thing where there was like a game room on every floor of the.
Yeah, the Hyatt.
Are you still
Yeah.
doing that here?
That was last year. No,
Okay.
we
Don't
think
need
we think we can fit everybody into this.
Okay.
Yeah. If that other one's twice as big and you've got overflow, that'll help a lot.
So here, one of the cool things is you can walk across the tunnel to go to Union Station, which is a train that'll take you to a lot of cool places.
Where will it take us?
You go to
That Hard 8 barbecue that everybody says you have to have.
Oh, Hard 8 is great.
The new thing is Pecan Lodge is the new one.
Is that near there?
That's nearby. A 5-minute Uber,
5 minutes.
maybe 10. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be exciting. And there's a nice restaurant up here if you guys choose to go there. It's like a Wolfgang Puck, and this ball spins. So you get, as you eat, you get to spin. It spins the city. It was very cool.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's a revolving restaurant.
It's a revolving restaurant.
Those went out in like the 70s.
Well, you won't come with us, and I guess not for my Alaboom reservation. We'll just cross you off the list there, Lance.
There's an Alaboom reservation.
Well, they're not now. You just
There
proved it.
was. So you made fun of his cool restaurant.
Space Needle.
It's actually really good. It's a Wolfgang.
Hey,
Puck.
I'll come, Aldi. I like spinning
I'll go.
restaurants.
I'll try to figure out a time. There you go.
All right.
Done. Unfocus me.
Disney still has a
Focus.
revolving
Defocus.
restaurant.
Or keep focused in.
No,
and
it's
make it
good.
feel
I mean,
uncomfortable.
it's a nice hotel. It's twice as big as the current the one we've been in. There's a lot of restaurants nearby. I don't think only for the hardcore walkers. Like you'll have to walk like 10 to 15 minutes. There's nothing like, it's not like Gen Con where things were right across the street.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
but if I
definitely
can
a-
walk 10 minutes, that's nothing.
There's a really fabulous taco place that I want to show you guys, called Fuel City. It's in a gas station. $2 tacos that are like the best I've ever had. So good.
Hey,
Best $3 tacos.
a real
Well,
question.
Like true like Mexican tacos.
What's the best way to get there from the airport?
Which one?
Car?
I would
TFW.
say Uber or Lyft.
Uber, Lyft.
But not a taxi.
Taxis have that rule where they have to charge you like $65 to go downtown. Right? Like it's just if you're going downtown, they're going to charge you $65.
Oh,
So
wow.
it doesn't matter. Whereas I paid like Lyft $40, $30-$40.
Geez, that's still expensive.
Or here's what you're going to do, Keith. You're going to fly into Love Field.
No, I'm not. I'm flying into DFW.
Flying into
I got my
DFW?
tickets. Yeah.
It might be
Yeah, I
good to
think
get
we
a,
are
group,
too.
get a group of people together to kind of like share it.
Here's
Share-
the thing,
share a
Scott. I could pay $40 for Lyft or Uber each way, or pay an extra $300 for a ticket and have a layover instead of a direct flight.
Yeah.
So
How many? What's your expected turnout? I assume
think
bigger
we're
than
like-
ever before.
Yeah, I
You're
think we're-
selling more tickets.
I think we're at 35 or 36. I can't remember the number exact.
oh, it's too crowded. It's been ruined.
We only went up by 300.
Hmm.
400. We only
And
went up
it's
by
sold out already?
It is sold out.
Mhm.
No, it did take a while to sell out. It took like a month.
Well, you guys
Well,
are
I mean, you guys are kind of old news at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna basically
as
surprise
I've heard,
people.
you're old news. What are you going to do to try to recapture the excitement? Seeing as how you're old news.
It's so weird. Like, how do you get better than what we're doing?
You are a necessary evil.
Like, how do we
I
do
don't know.
better?
Seems
We get every game from Essen times 3. We have a 6,500 game library. 6,500 games.
I'm surprised you don't do any kind of live streaming.
Why?
it's hard at a hotel, and a lot of times their internet's not reliable for live streaming.
We
But
did a
this
live
is
stream
a
last
new,
year.
exciting, sexy hotel. that
We
might
did live
be
stream
good
last
well.
year, and like 20 people came, and at the end of it, nobody was in the room. So we just shut down basically.
Well, I was thinking, I mean, more for the people who don't come. Just the existence of live streaming gives the impression that this is an event I should come to, if it's a big enough deal to warrant live streaming and all the cool. I mean, in theory, you just covered everything from Essen at Essen. I don't know if there's a different way to cover
we
it.
spent
A more
thousands
in-depth
last year
way.
to do the live stream for Gloomhaven.
so hey, which is the closer airport than Love Field?
Yep.
If you can,
Exciting.
it's only Southwest, and I think maybe Alaska. So that might be good for you because you're in the Great White North.
Where's the flea market and
That's
all
where
that stuff?
JFK flew in.
That'll be in that special events room that I
Okay.
went out. Yeah, I'm excited.
And how close is that to the?
Exhibitor hall.
They were both in the basement, right? Oh, wait, no. The exhibitor
Oh,
hall,
what
the library was downstairs.
The exhibitor hall is one flight of stairs up, which is an escalator.
Oh no, this is ass. Like all my flights, it's like 2 stops. Like fly all the way to Atlanta and then come back.
Oh, really? Is that for love?
Yeah,
What
for
about
love.
check Alaska? Alaska probably has direct. Or just do your direct flight to.
Yeah, I'll just go to DFW.
And then meet up with Keith Collins and share a taxi or a lift.
He has to ride with my entourage.
The Keith Collins.
That's right. I've got 2 buddies with me again this year.
Well, how much you paying them to be
I
able
think
to
Chad
call them
Roberts
that?
is driving down.
How much do I have to pay him? I don't know.
Who's coming?
Eric and Dave.
Okay, cool.
You've met them both. No fish.
No fish.
No fish.
We're having a fish. Didn't
Nothing.
commit.
I don't see him going to taking a flight for a gaming con where he can't really get away from the gaming for a little bit. He needs to chill.
Right.
Well, apparently there's a station right there to take you
There's,
right.
yeah, the Union Station.
He's got him a sweetie now. He can't disappear for that long anymore.
Does that Union Station get you to the airport, by the way?
It does, but I think it's a tricky ride. In fact, I'm thinking me and Jeff might just do it ourselves to see what it takes to get there and back. Maybe take a day.
I'll be doing a travel vlog.
You did do that?
Yeah.
No, I think we're gonna have to. Because honestly, now I'm not super worried about it, but the parking around there is not as abundant as an airport.
Sure.
So people are gonna have to potentially park in other locations and come in.
Oh,
I don't know how bad that's gonna affect.
That's.
But we should come armed with a couple things, like you can park here and take the train down, right? Like a two stop. Like the train 2 stops is like 5 minutes. You know, like you could park.
Yeah, but if people are like wanting to load up their cars with games, that's going to be more hassle to do.
Sure.
So it's good to have them know ahead of time so they know how to
then
plan.
You got to get there early.
Yeah.
Paid parking is garbage. Yeah, it's $5 a day. As I recall, we got the price reduced. Not in the hotel, but it's the parking lot across the street.
You should just have a BGG shuttle that goes back and forth from the airport to the convention site for a nominal fee. The BGG board game train. You could have people playing little
Only
mini
done
games.
that 10 times a day.
Yep. But if you charge it the right amount of money, it'll pay for itself. It'll be a good service to add.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into it. We used to have these shuttles, like hired shuttles to run all day at BGG Con, like to go, and they went to like 5 or 6 places around.
Yeah, they're not horribly unreasonable. We do it at Gen Con. We have a shuttle because we put all of our demo staff at an off-site location, and we have a shuttle that delivers them in the morning and then has 2 pickups at night. And it wasn't extremely expensive, especially since we're covering it for them. But if you're actually like have a fee that you can attach to it to offer that service, you probably can get it down. The rate's pretty reasonable to where it won't even cost you anything.
Oh, you mean
Yeah, I would have to
an
look.
extra $30 for your stay gives you?
Yeah, and you get free travel back and forth to the airport, and back. Yeah, I mean, those buses can hold like 70, 80 people. If you have that run 3 or 4 times a day, that's,
10%.
you don't need to run it on the main days of arrival and departure too. You don't have to have it available every
I'll
day.
look into it.
But the nature of this is that every single person who's coming is staying at the hotel, right? Isn't that, or is that not the case?
Probably not. No, the
Yeah,
hotel
probably
will
not.
fill out instantaneously, and it doesn't have enough space to
Oh,
hold
I
every
see.
person. So
So
there
the
will be
people
people driving on.
Yeah,
Or
we get
BGG
locals.
shuttle?
Locals will
other
drive in,
hotels
and then there's like
walking
2 other
distance?
hotels around the site, I believe.
There are other hotels around that are pretty close. Not sure if they're walking distance, but they're pretty close. I'm trying to get the pedicab guys to come over too. The guys with the bicycles that'll take people over to Deep Ellum. Deep Ellum is where the food is.
Oh, it's right by the grassy knoll. We can go check out the grassy knoll.
You can see the grassy knoll probably from your window.
Wow.
I've got to go see that just
Super
for
exciting.
historical purposes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's worth it. It's worth a visit if you've never been there.
And
There's
I
a
can walk
memorial.
over and I can hit McDonald's and
Where's
Wing
the
Bucket.
Where's the McDonald's?
I don't know. It looks like it's about 1,
Where is it,
2,
McDonald's?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, 10 blocks away or so.
There's also the West End, which is like a super touristy part of Dallas. I don't recommend it, but if you're looking for something
Oh,
touristy,
there's actually a closer McDonald's. It's even closer. It's about 1, 2, 3.
How far is it to your
about
house?
7. It's
5
ways
minutes.
from my
5-minute drive. 10-minute, maybe 10-minute drive,
So you're
No
staying at home?
wonder.
which is awesome.
Are you staying at home then?
And you'll still be the last
No,
one.
I'll be at the hotel.
Let's go party at his house.
This is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say if I lived 5 minutes from the hotel, I would definitely stay at home and free up a room for other people and just sleep in my own bed. More
Yeah.
importantly,
Yeah.
I
just wanna crash
enjoy.
all these-
Well, some
I
people are
enjoy
just
being on
selfish
site
like
at
that.
the
You know how it is.
How's your room compared to the other room from previous years?
I don't know which kind of room I'm getting actually.
the presidential suite.
It's probably not as nice because I think we get the best rooms at the Hyatt Regency.
Yeah, your airport Hyatt room was pretty sweet.
They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I don't use it though. I mean, it's like I don't spend any time in there.
Then you might as well just go home.
I don't want to drive home. I want to just
I
stay.
guess
at
your
the
point
hotel.
is you never
like when
leave
I'm going to
the-
bed at like 3 a.m. I don't want to drive home.
But you can imagine it's like you're back in the video game development industry.
Yeah. Did I tell you about the time I fell asleep on the road driving home from a crunch night?
Really?
Yes. Driving home at 3 or 4. You know what the very loneliest time on the road is? 4 a.m. Like I was driving and like I remember not being in the lane I was in when I woke up.
Oh wow.
So I switched lanes basically, which super scared me.
He probably stayed awake the rest
And
of the
I had to drive home early because I had jury duty the next day
day.
instead of staying there all night like most of the guys did.
And I like Chad's plan is make sure we stop at Bucky's on the way in, and because I've never seen a Bucky's.
Oh yeah, you guys need to make a Bucky's run.
Bucky.
Unfortunately it's far from us. Unless
Well, you should make the run for us.
Unless you come from the airport. I don't know where it is in relation to the airport.
What is Bucky's? Is it a barbecue place?
Bucky's is the best service station you'll ever go to. Gas
Service station.
So
Gas
that's
station.
we definitely got to check that out.
They have
Corn dog.
They have Bucky Nuggies. What are they? What do I
Bucky
get you?
Nuggies?
Bucky Nuggies,
There's Bucky Nuggies and the Bucky something else.
Bucky Balls.
There's the spicy cheesy ones too, whatever those were.
What are they?
And there's the caramel ones.
Those
So
are
are you making a pre-Gen Con Bucky's run again this year?
If Lincoln and I have time, yeah, we'll go.
That was some good
I'll try to
stuff.
bring some for everybody.
I gotta go look up Bucky's
Be interested
now.
in trying this Bucky's.
So it's a very good. So basically, the guy who created it wanted a clean bathroom to go to when he was on the road. So he invented Bucky's, and it's like every bathroom is like a room. Does that make sense? So like you're in your own bathroom. It's like it close the door. You've got a little room.
Are there showers and stuff?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't remember if there's. I don't think there's showers. And then there's a really interesting food, and they have their own like candies, their own junk food, like the Bucky Nuggies, the Bucky Bites, Bucky Balls. They have a whole series of every candy you can think of. They have pulled pork and brisket sandwiches. Yes, they have jerky, like 20 types of jerky. What else? It's just and it's a monstrosity. It's as big as like a small Walmart.
The nuggies were the good spicy ones. It's the
Okay.
beaver nuggets is the
Oh, the
caramel
beaver
ones.
nuggets. That's right. Beaver nuggets. I'm partial to the Bucky Bites, which are salted caramel cookies. Which
They've
when you
got
taste
trail
them, you're like, yeah,
mixes
these are
and
bad for me.
Jerkies. And
Paul Tompkins knows Bucky's. They have like a huge gift shop. Like it's all like this very Southwest. What is it called? Like just kitsch, right? Candied jalapeno cream cheese. I didn't even know they had that. I've spent a long time in Bucky's because when Lincoln and Nikki came, we spent about an hour walking around looking at every little thing they have. And when we came up to the counter, we had 2 shopping carts full, and they're like the little mini shopping carts. They're not like the big ones. And the woman's like, "This is the most I've ever seen anybody buy at one time."
it's like somebody that's never been to Philly finding a Wawa. You just end up going nuts.
Right. They have every soda fountain you can think of.
Yeah, that's the thing, Barry. Wawa is just nothing to you, but for out of towners, are like, this is a nice convenience store.
Well, Wawa's is everywhere now. There's Wawa's in South Carolina and Florida.
Yeah, we don't have crap in
there is.
Indiana, so
I think Bucky's.
I don't think they're out west yet.
Texas now.
I don't even think they're out places like Harrisburg and all that yet.
There's no trucks allowed at Bucky's, so it's not a truck stop.
What are
Yeah,
they like?
If you go to Bucky's.com and see the picture, you can kind of see the scale.
it looks like a truck stop.
It's ridiculous. No trucks are allowed. No trucks allowed. Oh yeah, just let that slideshow on that front page run. It's buc-ees.com. Buck-ees. Yes, and they heavily merchandise their beaver. You can buy.
That's a lot of jerky.
They got Mr.
Sorry.
Pibb. Mr. Pibb.
I just think the comment of heavily merchandising their beaver is
I wasn't trying to be. I was the beaver. It's Bucky Beaver.
hmm. There's a car wash.
Is there a car wash? I don't know.
Yeah, and it
There
looks
was
like
car wash in the
it almost looks like a Chronic. It looks like there's stations outside
Working at the car wash.
people
There-
can drive up
and
to.
As I understand it, their employment is very good. Like it's way higher than minimum wage.
Working at the car wash, yeah.
World famous Bucky jerky.
God, I wish we could go out there. It's just kind of far. It'll take like hours out of our day. That's not good at BGG-Con.
It's pretty cool looking for a pit stop. It looks pretty good.
It's mind-numbing. I had no idea that it existed. And when we drove to the cruise last year, or no, a couple years back when it was in Houston, we drove and we stopped at one. First time I'd ever been there. Like, holy shit!
So
Anyway,
how far out of your way would you go for something like this? Like I was talking to Jen.
Half hour.
There's a hoagie shop she grew up with that's about an hour and a half away. She was seriously considering driving up.
So that's a 3-hour round trip.
Fucking hour. Yeah, like, you're out of your mind.
It would have to be really, really good. I wouldn't go. I don't think I would drive 3 hours for Buc-ee's.
I wouldn't even drive 3 hours for Jungle Gyms, and Jungle Gyms is awesome.
What is Jungle Gyms?
Jungle Gyms is an international market in Cincinnati that is insane. I mean, it's just massive, and everything's organized by country. The place is, how big is Jungle Gyms? I have to look it up. So talk amongst yourself.
Chad Roberts, the distance is relevant. The experience is everything. So I looked at the closest one from downtown, and that would be at least an hour drive. And that isn't. It's an hour there, an hour back, and then the amount of time you would spend, probably a half hour. Anyway,
I was trying to see if they have the stats about how big they are and stuff on here. Yeah. It's just nuts.
It's just a giant grocery store.
Yeah, it's and then some.
And then some. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to describe without just seeing it. I need to find a video. See if I can find the information on how big it is. It's 300,000 square feet.
That's huge.
Yeah, they have over 180,000 items, 16,000 of which are international. They have one of the largest wine collections in the U.S. They have live seafood tanks. They have a cooking school inside it. Each week it attracts approximately 82,000 shoppers.
They're printing money. How was Dice Tower, Pete?
It was good. I was there Wednesday through Sunday morning.
Oh, you went for the whole time?
I was there for most of the time, although Wednesday was mostly family time. We went to Disney Springs and hung out at the pool. I didn't really do the show. And then Thursday, we had family come in. My wife's brother and sister-in-law and their son came up for like half a day, so I kind of didn't do much at the show the morning. But I went like Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday, most of the day at the show, which was fun. I got to play a bunch of games and hang out and see some of my friends and stuff. But it kind of got spoiled because my daughter got like a outer ear infection on like Friday morning. So the last 2 days she was not really digging it and she was kind of in pain. So I was bouncing back to the hotel quite often and I really wasn't focused on the show. I was more just making sure she was okay. So it was good. I mean, it was fine, but it also, it just, I was distracted for half the show, so I really didn't enjoy it as much as I may have if she had been feeling
more pictures from Dice Tower Con this year than I had ever seen before posted to
well, it's the last year at that location, so that may be why. I mean, I love that hotel, and I'm sad to see them move because that hotel was the whole reason my family.
I definitely have hotel envy. Like I would love to move to Florida. That hotel, that was really nice.
That hotel is fantastic. I mean, I know it's expensive and stuff, but the fact all the amenities and how close it is.
That's a problem because as an event organizer, you need people to book rooms.
Well, the rooms are cheap. They're $110 a night.
Oh, okay. But I was not people booking at the Econo Lodge, right? Like 35.
The rooms aren't expensive, but the amenities, like the food there is extremely overpriced.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it costs
outside is hard.
Yeah, and in parking is so ridiculously overcrowded that if you leave to go eat outside of the hotel, you're going to be spending a half an hour trying to find a parking spot because there's people parking in the grass because the hotel doesn't have enough parking to accommodate the
All the
3,300 people from Dice Tower Con plus
It's
their
weird, 'cause
normal.
it's a massive hotel. Like I'm really surprised they don't have the parking structure.
Yeah.
to support it.
So, but the hotel is great. Like, the pool is amazing. It's got a slide. It's got a waterfall. They've got a kiddie pool. They've got an arcade. They've got, they got all this great stuff so that non-gamer people or families of non-gamer people have plenty of stuff to do so that the gamers can go game. And it's literally like a mile from downtown Disney Springs. So there's so much stuff in the area. I love that location, but the new location is now 20 minutes east of that. And it's basically a hotel connected to a mall in a not great part of town.
They announced that they're basically downsizing, right?
Yeah, and that concerns me because I don't know if my wife didn't seem all that interested in going now. She's like, I love that hotel. If it's just a normal hotel pool, we could do that anywhere. So it lost a little bit of its flair. And it could be great. I don't know. I mean, I've not seen the new location. It could be awesome, but I mean, if it's just a normal hotel and it's not a resort hotel like it was before, I don't know that I'll be able to convince my family to want to go to that. So we may not go next year. It all depends. It really depends. I'll have to do a little research on the hotel.
You live in Tampa, right?
I lived in Tampa, yeah. So Orlando was fine. I mean, I piggybacked Dice Tower with a trip back to see my friends. So I'll go to my old game store and go hang out with my buddies for 2 or 3 days. Then we drive over to Orlando. So it may still be worth it for me, but I don't know. I mean, it also depends on how hard it is to go because I don't go for the company. I go on my own vacation, and 1,800 people, they're downsizing almost 1,200 people, so tickets may go scooped up super quick. So it may be one of those deals where I just can't go because I'm usually not the Johnny on the spot grabbing tickets because I'm used to just being able to go in through an exhibitor portal or something. But since I don't go officially, I don't know if I'll even be able to get a ticket. So it's one of those deals.
Be interesting how it evolves.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand why. I mean, they wanted more control over the convention, and they're going to have it now, so that they're going to be able to do it their way and then slow grow back up, which makes sense, and it's probably a good move. I just don't know if I like the choice of location, and it's more personal. It may be great for them. It's just me trying to combine that with a family trip. It's going to be a lot harder pull now to get my wife and daughter to want to go hang out at a mall hotel for a week versus a resort hotel that's like
at the resort hotel and like just truck over there.
We thought about it, and we may, depending on what the rates are for the non-convention, since it won't be part of a convention pricing. I don't know what their normal prices are, but
seasonal price.
It's possible we may just stay at a resort hotel and I may just drive in, especially if it's true about the area of town that the hotel is in not being all that family friendly. But yeah, I mean, if it's like that, then we may just stay down in Disney, and I may just drive 20 minutes in for the day, if that ends up being worth it. Because the parking's free. Being in the hotel, the parking will be free. So that's a plus. We're parking at the Carib where the place was like $20 a day, unless you were part of the convention, and then they'd waive it. But if you were coming from outside the convention, if you didn't stay at the hotel, you didn't get the free parking pass. So that would be expensive for non-hotel stayers. So. This one has the benefit of no parking fees, so that'll make it easier if you don't want to stay there. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. I mean, I'm gonna try to convince my family to go just to try it out one year and see if we like it. But I don't know. Like I said, that pool was the biggest draw. My daughter loves that pool at the Carib with the slide, and she'll run that slide all day.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Reminds me of my childhood growing up in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Go to Dice Tower, Lance?
I went 1 year. I thought it was really fun.
I remember you were complaining about how they gave you non-tepid lemonade.
Yeah. I remember that year. I remember us hanging out at someone's hotel room at like 4 a.m. eating pizza and playing games.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I remember them coming over to my booth and showing me a menu and saying, "What would you like?" And I
stayed on the surface of the fucking sun. I don't know if I could do that.
What?
That was awesome.
So, what? Why are you so spicy this evening?
He's salty today, isn't he?
It gets only me, apparently, though. I guess I went and pissed in the Cheerios or something. I don't know what the hell happened.
I didn't say anything against you.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was they knew how to treat their vendors.
They did. The year we had a booth, I remember that too. They came by and checked on you. They'd bring you drinks. They had a hospitality room with iced beverages and sandwiches and stuff. It was actually quite nice the year we exhibited. It just doesn't. It's just not a good show to sell at because
scale
cool stuff.
Right. It doesn't scale.
They made you feel like they cared. It was kind of nice.
Every chance he gets, just rub it in.
He's taking it too.
What? I didn't say anything. What? I was just talking about how good they were. Did
they give you a neat blue water bottle?
Ha!
That's a collector's item. It'd be awesome. Yeah.
Those water bottles are pretty sweet.
Gosh. Yeah, we have to make new ones for the new colors.
When's the rollout coming?
We changed our minds, by the way. Like I unfortunately spilled the beans at Origins.
Yeah.
And gave a date, which was a mistake.
Oh no!
Never give a date.
It'll be 4 days from now. But we changed our minds. We're not going to update the website until after Gen Con.
Oh wow!
So it's a week
because
after.
then you don't have to buy new banners for Gen Con.
No, Gen Con's going to be we're under the gun for Gen Con. We got a lot of changes. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Cool.
We got a bunch of new T-shirts, all new colors, new logo. I'm excited.
New jerseys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the font, or not the font, the pin from the Pin Bazaar is the old pin. So that'll be a collector's item. Come grab one of those. Make sure. Yeah. But I wish I didn't say anything now on Origins.
Oh well,
because that got picked up on really fast. Like people watch that thing. Not like the Alaboom, although there are some people watching tonight.
There are 24 people watching.
Tens of fans.
Tens of fans. Tens of watchers.
We gotta figure out how we're gonna handle this after August too.
So me and Chad spent some time playing around with some stuff, so we might be able to help you.
Will it cost me?
Will it cost you money?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it idiot proof?
Wow.
No, I'm just saying because we invite people on and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's actually going to be a little bit of technical. Like, so the first thing we tried was getting on Discord because Discord has video conferencing now.
Yeah, I think they're doing that as an answer to Google Hangouts going away. That they're everyone's going to start adding video to take away the people that used to be on Google Hangouts once that's over.
New logo, John Edwards. But if the problem is then you have to stream that video, right? And we would all be in our own panels. Like we would each get like a quarter of the screen or an eighth of the screen.
So it'd be like Brady Bunch. We could all look at each other.
Brady
The
Bunch.
Brady Bunch.
I'm digging that already.
But then you have
Brady Bunch.
that app. And we got it working, but I don't know how good it was. It was fine, I guess.
Was there a chat?
No, that's another problem because if you stream your screen and the chat is on your screen, then you're basically streaming your chat. And I don't think we would really want our chat streamed.
Not necessarily for us. I mean, for like Kabuki.
Oh no, it would be streamed on YouTube. You could stream to YouTube. There's no problem. It's the video conferencing part that's the problem. And
Indeed.
another alternative is vMix. And vMix Pro costs money.
Well, I'm sure that BGG would love to sponsor the Alaboom.
Love to.
I know a guy over at BGG. I'll send him an email.
Our tens of viewers bring so much to viewers.
Yeah. Branded marketing.
So vMix, it has this thing called virtual call. So you can have people call in and then you can lay out their, it's sort of Brady Bunch like. It's not Hangout does this auto switching thing, right? Let me get the pricing.
Did anyone look into like Twitch or?
$1,200 for the best one. For 8 callers.
$1,200.
For 8 callers. It's a one-time fee.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, if every boomer viewer chipped in $1 in about 6 years, we'd be able to
20
afford
years.
to get this. $1,200 for 8 viewers. That seems pretty. When
8
Skype
callers,
is
8
free,
callers.
yeah, it seems like a very expensive. I mean, it must be solid, like great signal, great latency, and all
Well,
that.
it really depends on the people.
Huh.
It depends on your upstream.
I wonder what their value is for $1,200 for a Hangouts type service.
It's a
This is-
full
was it-
video producer.
Was it Twitch specifically you're talking about?
No, he's talking about VMAX.
Oh,
or
VMix.
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 Yeah.
$1,200. I don't know if it's $1,200 good when you can go free at Discord or Skype or something else.
That's why I was putting up the 2 alternative.
Hey, at least we only have 3 weeks to figure it out.
Is that when Google Hangouts ditches in 3 weeks?
August 1st.
Oh,
August 1st. So when we get back from Gen Con, the post Gen Con show will be on a new format.
Or not at all.
Or not at all.
Or never.
Or never again.
Mm.
Well, if these are our last 2 episodes, what should we do? How can we elevate the
We should
experience?
just play before and after for 3 straight episodes.
Yeah.
50 questions.
Nonstop.
We have to figure something out. Our Gen Con
Before and
previews
after
are-
Google
we are-
Hangouts themed episodes.
No, I mean, I don't know why Google shutting this down. I mean, I feel like it's a really great product.
No, it's
I
not
mean,
the first
honestly, I'm
great
trying to
one.
figure
Because
out
they
why
can't
they.
make any money off of it. That's
Yeah,
all.
they're not making money on it, but is it costing them a lot of money either?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, probably.
I imagine the maintenance and the.
Yeah,
But I mean,
guess.
they are still allowing live streaming. It's just
Yeah.
that you have to use Skype to, Skype has to resolve all the different streams and just stream it in. I mean, that's what I know that's what they do on
Oh,
the other show that was on Wednesday for the longest time. I can't think of now. Maple.
you know what? We could move over to Facebook.
Oh, there you go.
Facebook?
Um,
Facebook has a streaming service
Yeah,
that.
they have free streaming. Let me see the program. Sent to me. See if I can find it.
Huh.
Might be free. Might not be free.
Well, Facebook, you may get more users.
Yeah.
More users watching.
Yeah.
If you're streaming on Facebook and into YouTube, they may increase the viewer count by 6 or 7 people.
Let's not get crazy here.
It's called,
I see.
Be Live.
Meeple Syrup,
Never
they
really
they used to use Skype to stream into, but they have switched over to Facebook. Sir Bob Games.
We should try. It's called Be Live.
Be Live.
There you go.
be.live.
Be.live. It wouldn't be a bad idea to test it at least. Maybe try it just as an experiment. Maybe one afternoon, get 3 or 4 of us just to pop in and see how it functions and see if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
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 It's either that or we just buy a bunch of fruit cans and get some
Be Live
string and
costs
make it
money.
work.
Costs money.
It
Is it
costs
not
money.
Costs
How much
money.
does Be Live cost? Can't be $1,200.
Light is $16 a month.
Oh,
Standard
shit.
is $25 a month. Enterprise is $1,000 a month
Ha! I'm out.
$1,000 a month?
Jesus,
for the Enterprise.
that is some expensive.
Yeah, but you don't need Enterprise. It's Enterprise does phone support, custom graphics, whatever. Who cares about that?
Wow.
The
But
20,
with the Light, you have to be at the $25 a month to do it.
well, you can only do 16 broadcasts a month for Light.
Yeah, well, Light doesn't have screen sharing or anything else.
Yeah, probably
Huh.
standard. $300 a year.
Hmm.
$300 a year.
For free, you can get 20-minute broadcast twice a week.
We
Ooh.
wouldn't even get past Lance's introduction in 20
Poor Lance.
minutes. Be the quickest boom ever. 20 minutes.
Are you still sick?
I'm not. Well, I'm just tired. That's all.
What happened today or yesterday?
Just I've been just, I mean, not to go into full detail, but I've been dealing with a lot of like just some chronic pain issues in my back and stuff, and
Oh,
just my doctor's been trying to figure stuff out, and I had like a 9-day headache that just did not go away.
Oh, yeah. I bet that's fun.
That's
Is it
called
Yeah.
a
marriage,
long-term
Lance.
thing, or is it something
You just
new?
got to deal with it.
It's just something new. I never really had anything like that before. You know, I'd had like really bad headaches before, but I would just sleep them off, and I couldn't just sleep this one off. So, yeah, I was just like, so then, yeah, I had to end up going into the ER, and they did a bunch of tests and made sure I wasn't having a stroke or an aneurysm or anything.
Yikes.
Yeah, but you know, and then they were like, "This is the best news I can give you. Is there's nothing wrong with you. I know you're in pain, but just go home and try to sleep it off some more." And
Is that what you get for your $5,000?
Mm-hmm.
what?
Oh, you got the bill yet?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think because I've gone in for the issues that I've been having over the last couple months. Just they've been throwing darts trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And so I'm pretty sure I've reached my cap on my insurance. So
Oh,
it's all free now. So
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
I guess
hopefully
you
not.
just lost too much weight. Gotta pack those pounds back on. That's clear.
Yeah, your
Nine-
body's saying, screw this.
Give me back.
90 pounds as of today.
That's like
Yep.
5
Yep.
bowling balls. Jeez.
Weighed myself this morning. I hit 90 pounds. I'm 10 pounds away from my goal.
Yeah, your spine just doesn't know what to do with itself
Yeah,
now. So
it's rejecting your weight loss. You need to go eat some cheeseburgers right away.
yeah.
I can't give up,
Come on.
man. I got to hit my 100 pounds. I would feel like Jim Dwyer, old baseball player. When he got his 100th career pinch hit, they said, "How does that feel?" He goes, "Pretty good. I'd feel pretty stupid if I ended up at 99." You know, so it's just like I feel pretty stupid if I got this close to losing 100 pounds even, and I did make it. So, but yeah, no, they think it's got a lot to do with stress and stuff
Yeah,
that I'm
you're
dealing with.
Too much stress.
You know, so and then just then the anxiety and the stress were compounding the problem, and then I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? And even more stress and anxiety, just a vicious circle kind of thing. So my doctor actually sent me to the ER to like actually have them basically tell me that I wasn't dying, and then to alleviate some of the stress, which is what he told me. He's like if you came in here, you'd have to wait a week for another test, and you were losing your mind. So they sent you to the ER, and then it's like you've already spent all your insurance money. So just like he was pretty funny too. I was like, so I was Googling the symptoms, and he said, "That's the smartest thing you can do is Google the symptoms." And I said, "Really? Oh yeah, because then you'll come in here and ask me for a bunch of tests you don't need, and I can make even more money." He was just like, "Stop Googling shit. Just let me figure this out." Just like he's like, I'm supposed to take care of you. I can't help you if you're like looking this stuff up and driving yourself crazy. So
what do they do? Do they look stuff up though?
I don't know. I've got some.
There's got to be something where you're like, well, this guy has X, Y, and Z. I got to look something up. What do they look?
Yeah, except for they know they'll do tests and can find out a lot more than Like they can look at your blood and your different levels of things and all that, and actually get to a real diagnosis instead of diagnosing on symptoms. They can diagnose based on actual science. So
my mom was really nice today. She said, "You lost so much weight. You look like you're old." I was like,
You did look younger when you were fatter.
I was just like, well, I was like, I guess I'll take looking old. I said, that's what the beard's for, to hide it. But no, I mean it's my feet don't hurt anymore. That's like the one thing that's really nice. I did have this is funny, like 2-3 years ago, like my left pinky toe went numb, and like I thought for sure I had like diabetes or something.
Yikes.
And so like I went in and they were like, "No, your glucose is fine, everything like that." And then I asked my doctor today, so it's like, so like this pinky toe, because I got a new doctor, and I was talking to this guy, and I was like, "So the pinky toe thing," and he's poking it. Can you feel that? I was like, "No," and he's just like, I was like, "Will that ever come back?" Nope. I was just like, I was like, even though I'm losing all this weight, oh no, you killed that nerve. You know, he was like, he's like, too many. You probably wore tight shoes, and you're putting 300 pounds of pressure on that. Well, you mashed that poor nerve into nothing. It's never coming back. I was like, oh, okay. I was just like, well, I appreciate your honesty.
It's just a pinky toe.
Well, yeah, you know. So I was just like,
It's gonna go wee all the way home, but it won't feel it.
With green nail polish, I'll use your pinky toe.
yeah, no, it's just I thought that was funny. I was just like, he's like no, nerves, he said, will grow back about a millimeter to a half millimeter to a millimeter a month. That's what nerves grow back. And he said, if it happened 3 years ago, it's never coming back. That nerve is dead. So I was just like, oh, all right, well. But the nice thing about all the tests and everything I've gone in, they've checked my blood like 1,000 times and everything else, and it's like I got perfect blood pressure. He said my heart rate is like what long distance runners try to get to, and like cholesterol's way down. And I mean, all my he's like, you're in really, really good health, probably the best health of your life. It's too bad you're dealing with all this back pain and all this stress right now. So, but you know what? It'll pass. Just they got me on some cool meds and just taking it easy. He said, get lots of sleep. I was like, I can handle that. I can get lots of sleep. I like sleep. Sleep is good. But yeah, that was the last week and a half was pretty. I'm not trying to talk over everybody here, but I mean, it was like one of those things where it was like I was like a lot of the stuff I was like, this is ridiculous. Like the amount of pain I was in, I was like, there's something like wrong inside of me. Like something's not working right. You know, I've never been in that much pain. And when
I know what it is. You ate a hot pocket.
No.
Yeah.
No, and then it was just like and then like with the head pain was like I mean I was, you know, when I got my niece who's dying of a brain tumor, and that's not helping at all, you know, and so I'm just like running through all those things, and they've proved that that's not a problem, and it's just like it's just like it was one of those things where they were almost positive I was just freaking myself out to the point where my anxiety was at such a crap high level that like my body was just reacting, and I was thinking there was something horrible, so there was something horrible, which just sucks that I fooled myself into that. But you know, he's like, you probably hurt your back really, really bad, like, you know, like and then you didn't really realize it, and then that compounded a bunch of other problems and all these pains. No, this is like, it was weird. It was like last day of school, I went, and I was already feeling like kind of like crap. I didn't really know what was wrong, and then I went to my son's school for the last day of school to go eat lunch with him, because like on the last day of school I go eat lunch with both my kids. It's just something I always do. And I went, and he was having a picnic lunch outside, and I just went and sat down on the ground with him, and we were eating lunch. And when I sat up, my back hurt, and it wasn't like I twisted it or anything like that. It just like all of a sudden I got this weird twinge, and I was like, that was weird. I've twinged my back before, but you know, it got worse and worse and worse and worse, and then it kind of spread up my spine into my shoulders, and then it like all of a sudden the back of my head started hurting, and then yeah. So I don't know. It's just they got me on some good meds now, and today was like the first day in a long time where I woke up with like almost no pain, which was a welcome relief. I mean, Origins was like torture for me. I mean, I was just like trying to smile and demo a game, you know, while I'm sitting there, and I have these like shooting pains, like just spiraling down my legs. Like I'm just standing. I'm not doing anything. It's just like, yeah, it just sucked. The whole thing was just giant pile of crap, and I'm just sitting there trying to smile, and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, let's go do this, that, and that, this, that, and the other thing." After that, so I was like, I need to go back to my room and like lie down for hours, and then, but yeah. Anyway, so I learned what it is to be old again, I guess, or for the first time ever, just having chronic pain.
At which point Barry says, "Hold my beer."
Yes, I know, and I
Yeah.
actually thought about Barry. I actually thought about Barry quite a bit. I thought about Barry. I thought about like Michael Fox. Just a couple people that like are near and dear to me that probably deal with like what I'm dealing with like 1,000 times worse.
That's why you waited for Barry to be gone for the story, because you didn't want him to call you.
I didn't even know he was
I was
gone.
thinking that very same thing.
Quit your bitching. Hold my weed.
No, I didn't even know he was gone. So
Hey, speaking of hold my weed, good night, friends. I'll see you in a week.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm
Week?
actually kind of hitting the wall.
Oh, next week. Yes.
No, next week we'll go, and then next week will be the first part one
First
of the
half.
Gen Con.
Yes.
So we'll go through those things and find the stuff that we love. And I'm like I said, I'm trying to like really limit what I'm gonna pick up. I dropped off another box full of games at my guy today, and I've got to get rid of like 2 or 3 more, and then I don't want to pick up like 8,000 games while I'm at Gen Con.
I'm limiting it to the 8 or 9 that I read off earlier. I'm really going to try to stop at that. Every convention I say that, and I pick an arbitrary number, and I come back with like 10 more than that. But I'm really going to try to just get the ones on my list and avoid the rest.
Well, and it's like I was going through my games again today, and I was just like, I'm never going to play this. Just get rid of it. And I was like, oh, I can't quite pull it off the shelf, just like.
The sad part is I've got games from last Gen Con I haven't even taken in a shrink yet. God. So it's like I've gotta just not get everything.
My worst story that had anything to do with that was when I was getting ready for an Origins. This is like 2 years ago, and I was just like, oh, it's like I gotta get ready for this Origins or whatever. And I was just doing the stuff, and I was digging around for something. I don't know what it was in my game room, and I moved some boxes, and I moved a game, and I found this box, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I pick it up, and it's like it's full of stuff in this giant box, and I look at it. And it was the games I sent home from the Origins last year.
Oh no!
That I had never opened up.
Didn't even miss them, did you?
Yeah, and I was just like, son of a B.
What would be one in there that you're saying, oh my god, I can't believe? I mean,
this is like 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't even know what it was. It was probably. I mean, I think like Flip Ships was in there. I think it was like that would be one of the games.
Yeah.
I still remember the first when they had Flip Shit set up, and the guy said, "Do you want to try take a shot?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." What do you do? And he's like, "Oh, you flip this in there," and it's like, "So what's the toughest shot?" He's like, "Oh, you got to hit it into the mothership over there." Oh, okay. First shot right into the mothership. I was just like, "Well,
you're done."
I was like, "I'm done. Give me the game. I'm an expert at it."
Like that NASCAR game, you're undefeated, right?
Yeah, and I'll never play it again. So what I was like,
against adults.
Have you ever played in Richard's NASCAR game that he runs?
Did you play it? I saw that video on Rob's stream. What is that game?
That game is awesome.
It's not a public game, right?
It's a game. It's based off of the Daytona Challenge 500, Daytona 500 Challenge game, the big box Daytona game. But he modified it like it's basically its own game now. But it was great. Like he created an entire action deck of cards, and he uses like 1/24 scale NASCAR cars. So
you can buy those cars.
Yeah. They're all store-bought cars. He bought 24 of these like $30 NASCAR metal models that just look
amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
The game is really cool. It's just a modified version of Daytona 500. That he made for a convention game, and he loves his NASCAR, so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Ever since I played Downforce, I find myself not really interested in playing any of the race games. I just love Downforce.
I love Thunder Alley's always been my favorite race game. I don't know that I thought Downforce was better
retired from Thunder Alley.
Huh?
Lance retired from Thunder.
Yeah, I retired undefeated.
Oh jeez. No.
Hey,
Oh, I saw your ether fields there, Richard.
How?
I saw your ether fields review.
Ah, yes.
Good.
And then
is that any good?
It's very cool. It's very good. The demo I've got is really much more limited than the ones they've sent in the past. It's weird. They put you in
it's
like
just
the
like a
third
slice
chapter
of
of the
the
game, but they
Yeah.
give you actually, I'm sorry. No, it's terrible, Lance. It's a deck builder.
Mm.
And it's a cooperative deck builder.
Oh.
And they basically give you your deck you have at the beginning of the game. So my video is a little weak. I feel like I should have just kind of artificially buffed it up, saying, "Oh, look, if you're in the third chapter, this would be all the cards you have, and there'd be a lot more because it's your deck building with multi-use cards and going through a lot of narrative stuff, and it's really well presented. I mean, it's from the same team that did This War of Mine, and they're trying to do cool, different ways of narrative storytelling in games, and that's all very cool, and I enjoyed it, and it was a good, fun, puzzly fun. Good,
Yeah,
puzzly fun.
It looks like it has like secrets.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You don't get the whole story at the beginning.
I purposely didn't show them, but among other things, it does the escape room. Oh, look really close at the card. Hey, there's a number 122. Go check that out. Oh, hey, here's a whole other place I could go to, type stuff. So yeah, it mixes a lot of genres. It's going to be pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't launch till next week, right? I'm sure it'll be a big monster, one of the biggest hits of the year. And the minis are ridiculous.
Hey Lance, speaking of games that you've reviewed, what did you think of Sword and Sails?
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Swords and Sails.
Let me make sure I remember which game that is.
Yeah, it's from VR Games.
Oh yeah. First of all, the designer is like one of the nicest. It's a heavy game. I mean, it's like
is it
definitely
heavy?
Oh, it's heavy. I mean,
oh yeah, I know this game.
Yeah.
And
I meant to ask you about it
monster.
earlier when we were talking about the games on the list, but that was one that I forgot. Just
and it's very good. But it is a heavy.
So it's like a 3 or 4 hour heavy medieval combat style game.
Yes, and it has got. It's kind of a throwback too. It is definitely a.
I can appreciate it, but I'll never get it to the table, so it's an easy one to cut off my list because if it's 2.5 to 3+ hours and heavy on top of that, that's going to be a no. Looks cool though. It looks really cool. It caught my eye. It was one of the new additions to the list today that I didn't see yesterday when I was doing my list.
Yeah, he's the designer, Jason Williams. It's like it's his life's work. It's his.
One of those.
It's like his passion project times 1,000. So
Gotcha.
But yeah, good stuff. But you definitely need the right group, and you definitely need. Okay, so we're meeting at noon, and we'll break for And it's like, and we're going to play this game, and this is going to be our afternoon, and just kind of order in the pizza and enjoy your time. So, Hey, it's Robert Oren, everybody.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Hello.
Can you guys
Here it comes. Sadly, yes.
We hear you.
You picked it. You jumped on just when we were getting ready to shut down.
Oh man, you played one of my favorite games today. Return of the Heroes, right?
Yeah, I missed that one. It looked cool.
I just
love
bought a
that
brand
game,
new
actually.
computer and I'm having problems.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, let me try something.
Return to the Heroes.
Wow, look at that fancy chair.
How's
Look at that
that?
gamer chair.
That is a nice chair.
Where'd you get that gamer
Oh,
chair?
sounds like shit. Okay, hold on.
Return of the Heroes, the game that needed an English to English translation.
An English to English translation.
It's
hate
like
that
every
technology.
Monolith game too.
It wasn't
Everything to
that
do
bad.
with it.
Test. Hello.
Test.
I never played the expansion.
Oh, okay.
Never
Gotcha.
played the expansion.
That 2-player expansion that you could play. It was standalone as
Was
a
it-
2-player, and then it was like kind of like the Shadows or something. I forget what it was called.
What are you talking about? The game that I played today?
Yeah. It's one of my favorites. Oh, no, that's the expansion.
Yeah, under the Shadows, under the Shadow of the Dragon.
Oh, you mean this?
Return of the Heroes, yeah. I love that cover.
Yeah, the art
Yeah.
style is really cool. The covers looks great.
It just screams old.
Remember, it was a Tango weekly. Like every week on Tango would be out for sale for like $10.
There's nothing wrong with old.
No, I think the game's still good.
Oh, I had a great time with it. I had fun. That's all that matters.
It was a Tango weekly discounted game.
Oh, Tanga.
Oh, Tanga.
Where have you gone?
They're still around. If you want to buy magazine subscriptions or
yeah,
titanium rings,
Tanga,
the things that'll shred your skin like off if you get it stuck on something.
Tanga and Posey.
What was Posey?
Posey was the Posey.com was POZY.com, and it was the daily deal site for Utopia, which was a online seller of games and toys based out of Wisconsin. And I remember and that's like the guy who ran Posey had his own forum, and I spent a lot of time on that forum talking about games with people. It was like this little tiny like little offshoot from BGG, and I posted lots of stuff. And I mean, that was the first time anybody was ever sending, like the guy that ran the Posey website would send me games for me to do written reviews, and then that I would post onto his website. And that was how I got started doing reviews. And then I started posting my written ones onto BGG. And then I got a video camera and I started doing that. But yeah, Posey.com. If I ordered a game from them, I would have it in one day because it was from Wisconsin.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was Amazon Prime before Amazon Prime.
Mm.
I remember when Boards and Bits, when he opened up his Ohio warehouse, I'd have him in 2 days. That was super sweet.
Mm.
That still makes me mad that Boards and Bits is gone.
Boards and Bits. Which one's that?
Boards and Bits. That was the name of the.
No, but what was the name of the owner?
Tom Powers.
Tom. Yeah. Yeah, he got into like a weird fucked up deal.
Well, I don't know what the whole story was, but that was when
Boardsandbits.com is parked.
Is what?
It's parked on GoDaddy now. You can't. There's no website.
He like entered into some deal where his stuff was in a warehouse,
right?
And
on the other half of the country, so they would do like 2-zone shipping, right? Like.
Yeah,
so if
and
you
then
shipped on East Coast, it would go from there, and if it shipped on West Coast, it would.
It was a needlessly stupid thing. And what happened was that he always said, like, he told himself he should never get a partner in his business because that would mean like it would be bad. But then he ended up getting a partner, and then depending on who you believe, the partner screwed him just in some way, shape, or form, and it was just like there was a giant. Horrible like mess where basically like he couldn't get, because like the person that was, I forget the company or whatever, but the person that ran the warehouse said he owed him money, so he wouldn't send out any of the games. And then so then when he flew out there to go and like get his stock back, the guy like had taken all of his stuff and locked it up. It's like, and there was this big lawsuit, and it was like, and then ultimately it was found that like that Tom was in the right, and the guy had to give him back all his stuff, and
but the damage had been done.
Oh yeah, I mean it ruined his company. I mean, because there was like all these people, because Tom was the guy the very first guy that ever did the I'll hold your order for you. And so you would just add things to your order and add things to your order and add things to your order, and then like you'd say, okay, go ahead and send it to me. And he never did free shipping. The only way he'd do free shipping is if you ordered something from Mayfair, because Mayfair was the thing where you could only get 20% off. So if you ordered a Mayfair game, he'd give you free shipping on your entire order. And that was his way around getting around like that process of like be able to give you a better discount. And but no, and then so like you would get like basically like you'd end up having like 9-10 games, and then you'd say, okay, go ahead and ship my stuff. Well, the thing is, there was all these people that had done pre-orders through him, and they had asked him hold of their stuff and everything like that. And then what happened is that he couldn't send any of that stuff. And then and then he was just like, you know, like, and it was just like the money was gone, and it was all this big giant mess because like the lawsuit froze all of his assets, and he couldn't refund anybody anyway, and it was just and then basically, even though he won it took him like 2 years to finally get the lawsuit finalized, and then it was really weird. And then like he basically, like, when he got his inventory back, he put it all back on. He said, "Coming soon." He put all his stuff back up on the website, and here was all of these like games that were like out of print, like
10 plus years.
10 plus years. If you were like, oh my gosh, you know, here's this thing, you know, and it was just like, you know, I mean, like, that's how I got my key market, you know, through them, you know, stuff like that, you know, just because of the fact that it was, you know, there it was, you know, because people have been waiting forever. And so, yeah, I mean, that was kind of neat that like, that you could do that. But I mean, it was also like, you know, you had to feel bad, you know, just because, and then everybody's like, oh, are you going to come back? And he's like, no, I'm out. And along the way, like, he got like a divorce, you know, somewhere in the middle of that. Just, yeah, it was a bad year for Tom all the way around. And I remember him and the miniature market owner got into a war of words on Board Game Geek.
Didn't they?
Yeah, it was brief, but it was spirited. Like, because like, you know, somebody posted yet again, like, oh look, I ordered these things from Miniature Market, and then like when I told them to send it, the stuff that I had already bought, like they didn't actually hold it, and I didn't get my stuff. You know, which is a, you know, I can see why you'd be annoyed about that. You know, it's like, oh, I gave you this money, but whatever. And they're like, well, you know, and then like the owner of Miniature Market came on and said something like, you know, we process this many of thousands of sales in any given month. Our fail rate on these things is less than this percentage, you know, so on and so forth. And like Tom just posted on a thread, he's like, you know, I was the first person ever to do the game holds for these things, and I never once had a situation where I couldn't fulfill somebody's order. It's not that difficult to do this if you really care about your customers or something.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And then the two of them, like, and like, you know, and then the owner or whatever posted, he's like, yeah, how's your business doing? Oh yeah, it's bankrupt. You know, just like, yeah. And I was just, it was, you know, it was definitely like a grab your popcorn moment, you know, and just, yeah, it was, but then it went away. But it didn't flare up as much as I thought it might have. But never judge a man on their worst day, right? Unless they continue having their worst day over and over again. Robert.
Whoa, was that Seth?
Yes, it is. I wanted to get out of here. I'm tired.
Look at all these new people joining.
You talked too long.
Yep.
We have
window.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Lance, I was actually out picking up some groceries or whatever, and I put on the boom on the way home so I could listen to what you guys were talking about. And 90% of what I've heard since then was you talking about something, various story to story.
So you mean normal?
Oh, you mean like normal?
Yeah.
Well, the funniest part was when he said something about, he like paused in the middle of a story to say, or in between stories to say, I don't mean to talk over you guys, but, and then he went into a big long story.
Yep. We're used to it.
We love you, Lance.
However, Lance, I did hear the end of your talking about your doctorate and stuff, and I'm glad to hear it's not, you know, you're not fatally injured or whatever.
No, yeah. I mean, it's just I'm not 100%, but I'm on the mend. It seems like right now.
Oh, I know some we can talk about.
What's that?
Those red stormtrooper outfits. Have you guys seen that stupid thing?
Yeah, what's up with the red stormtrooper outfits?
What are you talking about?
They released a video or a screenshot of the red stormtrooper. Sith trooper.
They look like the Crimson Guards, but in stormtrooper armor instead of the Royal Guard.
Although
armor.
I don't want to start talking about Star Wars at all.
What would I Google? Red stormtrooper?
Yeah, it'll be all
Sith,
over the place. It's
Sith
literally everywhere. Everywhere I've gone, I've seen a picture of that red stormtrooper.
Huh. Okay, so what about it? Why is this in the next movie or
I'm
something?
just gonna say, well, can we talk about it?
The Rise of
That's
Skywalker.
opening a can of worms.
Just one more thing for people to complain about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not
What?
doing themselves any favors.
What's wrong with that? Who cares?
Is this where the Crimson Guard goes, hey, I was red first?
Yeah, I believe so.
What's
You know, there was a
Red on
great
page
video I saw on trending YouTube last week about real life stunt guys commenting on stunt scenes from movies, and they used the stunt scene from the last Star Wars movie as one of their ones they made fun of. It's a cool video, actually. I liked it because they know when things are real and think when things are fake, and they were like all like wincing when they saw one guy get kicked in the chin, because you know it was a pulled kick, but it was still like full impact.
So did you hear the actor that played Patches O'Houlihan in Dodgeball passed away this week?
Rip Torn.
Rip Torn, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip Torn.
His
Right.
my favorite
Men in
role
Black.
for him. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, but my favorite role he had was the defense attorney in Defending Your Life.
Yeah, it was
Which-
a good movie. I liked that
Which,
movie.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he was very funny in there. And if you've never seen the movie Defending
Funny.
Your Life,
it's
track
cool.
it down. That
Yeah.
is the premise is that the afterlife is
No
that
spoilers.
it's pretty simple. The premise is the afterlife is you defend your life as to whether or not you lived a good life, and if you basically have a trial about your life, and if you succeed, then you get to move on to the next level of existence, and if you fail, then you have to go back and do life over on Earth again, and like so you get to try again and live a good life. But Rip Torn plays Albert Brooks's defense attorney,
Right.
and he's hilarious.
Oh, that sounds super familiar. Sorry, I missed the beginning of what you were talking about.
The movie.
What movie was that?
Defending Your Life.
Yeah, I remember that. It's like the 80s or something.
Yeah.
I think it was later than that one.
Or the Evil Witch and Beastmaster.
I
favorite.
want your children.
1991, by the way. 1991. So almost 80s.
Beastmaster.
Meryl Streep was in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I might watch it tonight.
I watched what did I watch recently? I watched Jessica Jones season 3. You ever seen that? Or is everyone done with Jessica Jones after the first season?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Me too. I was done after
the
the
second
first
one.
season.
1991 was Defending Your Life.
Sounds all right. So yeah, I liked the first season a lot. The second season it was super lame, I thought. And then I almost didn't even watch the third season, but I just needed something to watch. Well, I wanted something to watch while I was. So Corbin won't go to sleep on his own, so someone has to like lay with him and stuff. And so lying with the baby, I watched some YouTube, or not YouTube, Netflix or whatever. So yeah, I ended up watching the third season. It was kind of cool. I don't know, kind of dragged on. I'm looking for a better show. I watched all Black Mirror. That was pretty good.
Stranger Things 3?
Yeah, that's my next thing is Stranger Things. I had been waiting for Michelle to watch before I watched season 2. She was gonna watch season 1. I was gonna rewatch it with her and then watch season 2. But I think she's never actually wants to watch that. So now I'm like behind by a season. But I've heard lots of good things about season 3 of Stranger Things.
I enjoyed it.
So actually, I just today I saw someone's comment on Facebook that was the only thing that was sort of negative I've ever heard about it, which was everyone was kind of raving about it, and I thought it must be real good. This guy was like, "Yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that. It was fun. It was all right. I liked the characters, but like it wasn't that great." And I was like, "Really?"
I think the
I'm
best
not-
thing
I'm
to
not
come
a
out
huge
of that
fan.
is that Hooper PI video that they put out. That is hilarious.
I'm not familiar with that. I think specifically, I think he said that the writing wasn't that good, and what's her name? Winona Ryder still can't act.
Very true. All very true. No, look, you
How's-
should see
how's
the
the,
Hooper
uh,
PI video. The Hooper PI video takes the cop from Stranger Things and makes it like a Magnum PI intro from the TV show. It's awesome.
Fun.
Hey Seth, just not to talk work, but did
Don't work, but I'm going to anyway.
But I'm going
no, I mean
6
you,
hours
I don't
later.
mean to talk over you
stress
guys.
levels, Lance. Stress
Ah.
levels, Lance.
yeah, this isn't helping. What the
Snowflake.
hell? No, tomorrow. Do you have lots of engineering work you got to do, or?
I do engineering on Mondays through Wednesdays, so not tomorrow.
All right. Well, then tomorrow we gotta hammer out the stretch goal stuff.
Yeah, I sent you a thing today. Did you get it?
I got it. I looked at it, but we'll have to just figure out what our levels are gonna be and get that over to Sergey.
Cool. And you've been getting his emails, right? He's been sending some stuff.
Yep, and I've been using it for and adding it in and everything like that. We got the first animation, which was good. So
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that yet. Is it on the thing?
yeah, it's on the email. I haven't put it on the thing yet, but I mean, we got the email, so you could
We got the email for. Oh, I didn't see that. Cool.
Here we are. Blah blah blah. Talking about Emperor's Choice launches July 16th.
Yeah, man. Tuesday, right? So
Wait,
Emperor's
you're
Choice.
selling it at Gen Con? No?
No, we're demoing it at Gen Con.
Oh, demoing it.
Yeah. So yeah, Lance, you wanted me to write up something. Something on BG about the 2-player.
Write up the 2-player variant and then upload it to BGG, so then we can link it to because people are going to ask us about those rules. So.
What do you guys think when there's something like that on BGG? Do you think it's better to have like a forum post or a file?
File.
That's where anybody's going to look for it, and a forum post pointing to the file
Linking
entry.
the file. Yeah. Okay. Because I got to type it anyway. I could just type it into the browser, but I guess I could type it into a Word doc or something.
PDF.
So you
sucked into it.
Richard, you played with a 2-player variant, right?
Yes, I did. I filmed a video for it.
Right, and so
a lifetime ago, it feels like now.
It feels like it. It's been like a week. Actually, I think I saw your video. It was good. So you like that then? It worked out. The 2-player thing?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it's. I mean, I've only played as a 2-player game, and I can certainly imagine the auctions being much more dynamic and interesting with more. But I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I didn't feel like it was compromised in any way. It was definitely still a compelling game.
Cool.
But I got to assume at higher player counts with the two different, with like the dual bidding structure thing, it's going to be a lot more interesting with more people, mixing it up. But it seemed like it worked great, I thought.
Did you also play? I think I mentioned when I emailed you the 2-player stuff. I'm making two tweaks to the game compared to the original game. One is I wouldn't have done this if we were just. I wouldn't have done it with the cardboard tiles like come in the old game, the original game. But currently or originally, you don't scale the tile mix for player count. So if you think about it,
that was weird. The first time I played it, we went the whole game and never saw. I think the entire game we only drew one of the the 3 cool special cards. And it felt really wrong. I mean, there was never another chance to get another one. And it did occur to me that, that's probably because with more players, we'd be pulling a lot more of those out of the bag, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that really bothered me because, like, even with 5 players, you only see like 60% of the tiles.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't change the tile mix, you go down to 3 players, you're only seeing like 30% of the tiles.
Yeah.
And you could real easy have a game where like no walls come up or something, and a bunch of barbarians come up, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this sucks," or or stuff like that. Like, early on you get like some carriages, and you're like, sweet, I'm going to go for this carriage goal, and then no one come up for the rest of the game or whatever. That bothered me. So, but it would be such a pain in the butt to go fish out, 20 different tiles or whatever, specific ones out of those tiles. Because you played with the original game, right? So the square cardboard tiles. I wouldn't want to try to say, okay, take out 3 of this tile, 1 of this tile, 2 of this tile, whatever, specific
well, you
tile.
wouldn't do that. You would say, take out all the tiles that have the 2P on them.
Okay. And then you got to fish out every single tile in the deck to
and then, and then it takes 45 seconds for two people just to dump them all and just scan through them all and okay, take everything out that has whatever the symbol is.
Right. I mean, that's a possibility, but it was one I wasn't excited about. However, since we're making the awesome Mahjong style tiles, it occurred to me. So if you've seen Mahjong tiles, a lot of them are two colors. Like they have like a white layer with this picture on top, and then like a green layer or a blue layer or a colored layer.
Oh,
so we're trying. I want to do that and have like. So most of the tiles will just be like the white or ivory color,
yeah,
and then some tiles will have like a black bottom, and some will have like a gray bottom. So if you play with 4 players, you just take out either black or gray, and then if you play with 2 players, you take the other one as well.
Do it.
I feel like that would be way easier to sort, and it means the tile mix can be more similar.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah, I mean, on some level, I mean, because the first time we played it, we hardly saw any of them, and it did make our first play feel very different from the second one, where they were more common. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's a feature that you can get a wildly different feeling game. One of my playtesters argued that it was a feature as well. However, I think it's lame because it makes some of the scoring conditions lame. Mm-hmm. Like, and there's 7 scoring conditions, and if no carriages come up, then one of them is just boring and nobody picks it because no one's got any scoring to go. So I felt that was a net negative. So anyway, that's one thing. And if I were, what I should have done probably was when I sent you the 2-player variant, I should have said, look, you're only ever playing with 2 players. Take these specific tiles out, and then you could have trimmed your tile mix because you're not going to play with 4 players or something one day. Probably. Nope. No, sorry. But anyway, so that's one big tweak that I made. And I ran this, I mentioned this to Hisashi Hayashi, and he was fine with it. The other thing that I tweaked. But I mean, actually, I'm sorry, before you go on with that, I'm kind of curious. Did he not, I mean, because you did it not only for the new 2-player, but you did it for 3-player as well. Did he not feel it was necessary? For 2-player, you'd use the same tile mix as 3-player. Okay, okay. But I mean, did he not feel it was necessary for a 3-player game? He, I don't know did he think it was a feature? Did he like the fact that, oh yeah, sometimes there's just not much wall? I don't think he said one way or the other. I just asked him how he felt about scaling it, and he said he didn't mind. Okay. When I told him my idea, he said that sounds okay. Right. So I don't know if he thought about it and specifically wanted it to not scale, or if he didn't think about it, or if he figured it was too much work to scale it, and or something. Like I can imagine that too. Like even if it's like you say, not. Like 7 Wonders, taking those cards out is a pain in the ass, even though it doesn't take that long, and everyone can work on it. It's still something you have to do if you're going to switch player counts, and it's annoying. Mm-hmm. So I could see not wanting to do that in general, but I think it'll be easy enough or whatever if it's visually obvious enough. The other big tweak, or not a big tweak, the other tweak was I noticed that, and there's a thread on this in BG, I think, related. The Barbarians, if they don't come out, they don't come out. And then the whole walls are lame, and the whole like policy that cares about barbarians is lame, and whatever. And if they do come out, then they come out, and then maybe it's a big deal to have walls and soldiers. And I wish that was a little more consistent. To be honest, if I had started from scratch, I probably would have put barbarian icons on some of the wild tiles so they go together. But I wasn't going to make that kind of change. However, I did do this. Yeah. I put a barbarian icon after rounds 2, 4, and 5 or something like that. So guaranteed at least. So you basically guaranteed draw a barbarian. Those rounds.
What are you guys talking about?
Emperor's Choice.
Oh, okay. On Kickstarter next week, right?
Yep, next week, Tuesday. So yeah. So
Tuesday. I mean, come on, why not? Don't you guys think Tuesday's like not now the right day to go?
I don't know.
Everybody's on Tuesday.
The wisdom seems to think that Tuesday is the right day to launch. I don't know if it really matters.
The game is good. It won't matter what day you're on.
There were a few. There was some time. I think there was a period of time when people were really studying like what's the best way to optimize your Kickstarters, and all the research that people were doing was leading them to believe that Tuesday was the day because I don't know. You want to make sure you get
starters that are good games basically launched on Tuesday.
Well, when you say people, you mostly mean Jamie Stegmaier, right? It's just that he said Tuesday, and so everybody does Tuesday.
It wasn't just him.
I don't think
at the time. I mean, he got that from somewhere too, right? But I don't think it was just him at the time. I remember people thinking about it and talking about it, and comments online or articles or whatever. what day to start, how long to go, or whatever, what day to end, and you want to you want to capture the weekend, but you don't want to miss a weekend because some people don't look at the computer except on the weekend, or you want to have Monday, whatever, so that when people get to work and they check their thing, you don't want to end on Sunday, or all this kind of stuff. And to be honest, it sounded to me like it was all people just guesstimating and saying what they thought was
justifying the choice they've already made. I mean, there is something to how important your first 48 hours is to create that initial buzz so that people are more inclined to hit back.
Yeah, that's a bigger deal, I think, compared to what day to launch. I mean, I'm sure there's something that there must be a best day. Like, I don't know.
I think it's less about the best day and more about how much pre-buzz you build. I am constantly shocked that publishers don't use the Kickstarter preview feature and say, "Hey, everybody, we're going to be launching this in 2 weeks. Here's look over our page now, so you can feel like you're inside, you're behind the scenes, you're giving us feedback and all of that." You just inherently generate more interest from people because they feel more involved, and it becomes more of an event when you finally press the go button. And I know you guys don't do it; most people don't.
I think Ignacy Trzewiczek did that with his whatever he's currently got on Kickstarter that's launched.
Predaporter. Etherfields is doing it right now. Yeah, Etherfields launches on Monday next week, by the way. And they said, "Yeah, make my video live now. Make it." And I've had like 10,000 views. Now, of course, Etherfields is going to get is going to suck all the auction out of the room, no matter what, because it's Awaken Realms' next big game. But I think they are definitely using the Kickstarter preview to good effect to help, because they're doing back in the first 48 hours, and you get an extra mini type thing and stuff like that. Yeah. And so it's imperative for them to let everybody know, hey, you want to be here in the first 48 hours, so you'll get that miniature that otherwise is going to cost you an extra $8. You'll get it for free, and that means more people back in the 48 hours, and they'll hit that magic sweet spot that makes everybody 3 times more excited than they should be, and we'll push them over the 2 million mark or whatever ridiculous number.
I wonder if the reason that people don't do it more often, and I'm just trying to think, like, we could do that, I guess, but I wonder if people don't do it because when the page is under construction, especially if you're flailing about trying to very quickly get stuff together, and there's incorrect information, and that's the biggest thing. Like, you might have placeholder information, and people don't know it's placeholder if they're not whatever. Especially prices.
I totally get that. Oh, I wouldn't suggest putting it out there before you're ready. I'm just saying bake in and
get ready a week earlier. We were ready a week earlier, and then soft launch your preview page.
Exactly,
might be a good way to go.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean, it can only generate upside for you, I think. Just to get people a little bit more on board, a bit more excited, especially if you're doing those kind of special first 24-hour, first 48-hour back type things. And I mean, you will invariably, it will reveal things that would have been blind spots to you. The number of freaking times I have seen Kickstarters where they say, "Oh, wow, we didn't even think about this particular country's shipping issue," and they're having to, scramble at the last minute when, that stuff would have come to light if they opened the door earlier. But
anyway. It's true. And then I've seen projects have to cancel and relaunch because they made a big mistake on, oops, I forgot I listed the wrong price, or
oh, we forgot about the EU friendly shipping. Now we got to start all over again type stuff.
Hey, Lance just got back. Let's ask him what he thinks about that.
Right.
Lance, the right now, Predaporter that just launched from Ignacy, and also Aetherfields, which is launching on Monday. I don't know, some game that Rich was talking about. They both made public their Kickstarter preview page early, and asking for feedback. And Richard was saying, I don't know why more people don't do that. I suggest that possibly the reason people don't do that is because people are scrambling last minute to get everything ready, and you don't want to put up a preview page that's like not finished, or especially if it's got like incorrect info or misleading info or something like that. Perhaps though, so Richard's response was more or less, so get ready. Don't put it up before you're ready, but get ready a week earlier. Put the preview up for a week, and then and then launch for real. Is that something that would be smart to do? Like, do you think letting people see the preview page and being able to get some things out of the way, like, hey, I see you're shipping to this country is ridiculous, and is that a mistake? Before the actual Kickstarter's live, or other comments you might make. Is that wise? Is that something
you
we
deal
should
with it more than me.
I mean, it's one of those things where, how do I put this? That is diplomatic.
Don't worry, none of your backers are listening.
Are
you implying we have no backers, or that no one listens?
No. There. I mean, I think ultimately the good outweighs the bad, but I do also think there's a little bit of like, I forget what the comedian was, but you know, like it's like setting up a dunk tank on the Psycho Freeway. You know, it's just like I think you're going to get a few like people that like, because there's so much that goes into, you know, how a game is made, and like, you know, just why a pledge is what a pledge is, and why shipping costs X, and then so they don't know all the background knowledge. And I mean, I think there's some that could really be helpful as far as like, you know, obviously strengthening the amount of knowledge and the reach for it. I think there's lots of that, but I mean, other than backers saying, "Oh, I'd really like it if we could have this," well, it's like, okay, that's great, you know, and we'd love to give you that, but like, you know, it's like we can't just give
you know, if you want to be really craven about it, you know, get yourself ready for a 3-stage preview process where you put the first page up knowing full well that, yeah, you know what, this is not actually as much as we plan on charging. And, oh, yeah, a few of the key features are not there. Open up the preview and say, oh, we're really excited about the game, but what about X or Y? And then you get the opportunity to say, that's a good idea, backer. Let's go on ahead and change those values, and let's go on ahead and throw one of those in. And then, I mean, you get to deal with it ahead of time, and you know, cut off the assholes before they you know, because once you're really live, those kind of changes. Yeah.
No,
don't get me wrong.
Well, I mean, and the thing about us is that, I mean, have we locked down what the pledge level is going to be? Because like the one thing about this is that we're not going to have a retail version for this. It's just it's going to be a deluxe version, and that's it. So, and I mean, and because of the fact that it's going to be just deluxe fied out the wazoo, I mean, it's going to be, I mean, an MSRP of over $100, you know, for the game. So, I mean, it's, I don't know. Have we figured out what we're going to do for a pledge cost, Seth? Have we locked it down yet?
I don't know. It's up to Daniel, I think. And
well, you read the financials, though, didn't you?
I'm a little confused because we were looking. Things got a little wonky when we decided not to do a retail version and only do the deluxe version, because the way that we normally would do the deluxe-ified Kickstarters is we would do a retail version, which we'd have to work with our financial analysis the way we normally do it, and then for the deluxe version, we're not going to put that normally into retail, so we would just, you know, if the retail was $60 and the deluxe was $80, that's $20 less Kickstarter fees. That's $15 you can put in upgrades. So as long as the upgrades don't cost more than $15, then we were fine.
Yeah.
However, if we're not doing a retail version and we are going to put the deluxe version through retail, like that analysis is completely different. And if we try to do the deluxe version with our normal financial analysis, I guess theoretically that should work. Only I think it's a little wonky. I don't think it's set up for that. Our spreadsheet thingy, and it ends up looking like it's going to cost probably more than we want to charge. But maybe you know, I don't know if the philosophy is charge whatever it has to be, and we won't sell a whole lot in retail, or if we expect people will pay $120 or $130 or whatever for this game, and maybe that's fine. I mean, people were dropping $100 on Crusaders at Origins, so
yeah,
maybe it's not that surprising or whatever.
This will be interesting. I mean, yeah. I mean, I really want Josh's video ASAP so I can get that out there so people can see it, and so they can see just like the amount of bling that they're going to be able to get and things like that. So
I just think if we're going to do a deluxe only thing, I wonder if we shouldn't try to just do it direct only, because I think trying to put it on store shelves is going to be not necessarily worth it if it's going to have such a big price tag that nobody's going to want to buy it.
I'm a big fan of that. This is not I was the big proponent of the fact that just saying, hey, we're going to sell this through Kickstarter and that's it. And
well, I mean, it doesn't have to be just through Kickstarter to be direct only, but
okay, we're going to sell it through Kickstarter, and then after that, you'll be able to buy it directly through us or at conventions. But other than that, like, this is not going to hit distribution. I'm a
big difference as to whether we can sell it for $100 or not. You know, if it's through distribution, like there's a certain, you know, if we wanted
that sounds like a very good meeting for us to have tomorrow with Daniel.
Maybe if we want to sell it for $100, which I don't know if we do or not, but if we chose a number like 100 and we wanted to sell it for that, if we're not doing direct only, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to. So I was just looking at the quotes, and it's really wacky too, because originally this was going to have the retail edition, so it's all kind of different than what I had expected or whatever when I was setting things up. But I mean, theoretically though, whatever, we charge whatever we have to charge, and it's, you know, in retail. I do think we're going to increase the box size, and I don't know if that's going to be a tasty treat or whatever, or if it's just going to be standardly bigger, but especially if we're going to try to sell it for more than the $100 that Crusaders costs, we should definitely have a bigger box. We might need a bigger box anyway. And Aaron was saying he didn't think all those tiles would fit in the box.
Yeah,
I guess Mike said something about that a while ago, except for I think Mike's math was way off, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I am worried about how heavy the game's going to be with 136 Mahjong tiles in it.
Well, yeah, and it depends what they're made out of. I mean, we're looking at there's acrylic, there's urea, there's bakelite or whatever. There's all kinds of different materials. I suspect we'll end up with acrylic, and I don't know how heavy acrylic is. But if you go to the store and you probably have Dragon's Castle.
Yeah,
that has a similar number of a similar size tiles of a similar type. So it's not that heavy.
These will be better. These will be better quality than the Dragon Castle ones, though.
Will they? I mean,
I think so.
They'll be similar. They'll be. I think they'll be a little bit bigger but thinner. I think, and the image will be a lot more intricate.
Yeah, I mean these are. I mean that's what I mean as far as like the art, and then but then also we got the metal coins, we got all the wood, we've got like 100 and some whatever pieces of wood. The metal treasures, the metal coins, all the player boards, the four. It's a quad fold board, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the game's immense, and and it's a big.
Well, I think it'll have. I really think those tiles are going to be the draw. Like that's going to be not only are they super thematic because the Qin Dynasty is like when the Mahjong was like a big deal. So I think it's thematically a good idea, but also they're just going to look real nice.
Yeah,
like Azul.
Well, like dominoes or Mahjong tiles.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah.
Well, and then
tiles, yeah.
And the cool thing that Seth figured out was like, he figured out the reduction of like taking, because the original game was just throw all the tiles in and you just dealt with them. But like,
we were talking about that earlier.
Okay,
I completely agree. It was definitely something I ran into playing 2-player, that we just got kind of very, very different games out of it when we played.
Yeah.
So like having the different backs on the tiles is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like take all the tiles that have the gray out of them. Take all the it'll work really well.
Is that you can do that super easily if you just with these tiles, if they're if the back half of them is gray, you can see it from any angle. You can be like, oh, that one's obviously out. Yeah. You don't have to read anything. You don't have to search for an icon. I think that's going to be key.
Yeah. No. I just it's one of those things where we just need to get the word spread and get people excited about it, and I think we'll do well. So
I'll post in our Slack about not for this one obviously, but for going forward, future Kickstarters, the idea of having you can think of it like a soft launch and then a real launch, where the soft launch is make your preview page public, and the real launch is actually launch.
Yeah,
I had bandied about the idea a long time ago, actually, of a soft launch, when I told it to Mike, my thought at the time was, this is years ago, was say we're going to Gen Con, launch the project before Gen Con, but don't tell anybody we launched it. And then at Gen Con, tell people, look, we're demoing this game. You could back for it now, whatever. And then officially launch it like the day after Gen Con when we're back. The idea being that you could have a big launch thing, but also not miss out on the convention, but also not have to not be able to monitor the thing. One of the downsides to that was people have notifications or whatever, and they'll find out it got launched, even if you don't say so, and stuff like that. It wasn't a great idea, logistically, but maybe philosophically, it's not necessarily bad. I've had a number of ideas that I've posited over the years, such as a subscription service. Like, I think Martin Wallace did something like this before, didn't he? Where you could pay some amount of money up front, and then you get all the games you published that year.
Yeah, Tree Frog did that.
Yeah, I suggested that to Mike at one point when we were talking about crowdfunding. One of the benefits is you get the money up front, and then you can do stuff with it. And I was like, if you need money up front, what if we basically sold a thing where you could pay $100 in January, and you get we would have to have a better handle on our schedule for the year, I think, for that to really work. But if we could say these 3 games are coming out this year, you could buy them all right now for $100, and that represents a discount for you. You'll get all 3 games, and you pay now, and we get a bunch of money up front. Maybe that could work, but I think for that to work, we'd really have to have a better handle on our schedule.
As I recall, the problem when Martin Wallace did it was, I don't want one of these 3 that are coming out this year. Kind of an issue.
And you either don't do the subscription, or you get the subscription anyway, and you sell off the one you didn't want, and you pay $50 instead of $100.
I suppose. I don't know how many people are really into the aftermarket sales. The number of times I see people about, I don't want to play this game that only has 100 hours of life in it. It's like, well, dude, you'll sell it for twice as much as you bought it for. Yeah, but I don't sell anything. People are weird.
Yeah, people are, but that's fine. Those people won't do the subscription.
Yeah.
The subscription are for people who want it or can take advantage of it. But whatever. I mean, that wasn't Mike didn't like that idea. I think it was mostly because it commits too much to. Well, there's some logistical problems, especially when we don't. Our schedule switches up a lot. We don't necessarily know when things are coming out, or we might have 6 things come out in a year and 2 things come out the next year or something like that.
You don't know when tariffs are going to change.
Oh, certainly that too, but yeah.
Yep.
I maintain that that's not a terrible idea. If for a company that has a more strict schedule and does we do 2 games in an expansion per year or something, that could be a good thing to do. Stegmeyer has his, what does he call it? The Stonemeyer Champion program or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what all that entails. But it's basically some kind of almost like a loyalty program that somehow, I don't know, seems to work. But yeah. I don't know. What could we do? You guys are gamers. What could TMG do to better serve the gamer public?
Make better games.
There he's laughing.
I'm kidding. Well, you guys really haven't had an evergreen game yet, have you?
Define evergreen. I mean, Eminent Domain's been selling since 2011.
All right.
Which one? Emdo?
Eminent Domain is still selling, and it came out 8 years ago or something. What else? Dungeon Roll sold quite a few copies, and I think it's still selling. I don't really know. I'm not super up to date on our sales data, but I mean,
all right, maybe not evergreen. How about super popular? We'll say
that's something that I am sad about. Where's our Wingspan or Terraforming Mars? That'd be awesome. But I think we have some work to do to get to a point where that can happen. Just looking at, so Wingspan. Wingspan's not a bad game. It's a solid game. I like it. It's good. It's an engine builder. People like it. It's got an accessible theme. It's got whatever. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. But if it didn't come out from Jamie Stegmeyer, there's a good chance.
More to the point, if it didn't follow Scythe.
Sure. Right. Well, I mean, that's what I mean.
So you could have a wingspan, but first you just need to have a scythe. That's all.
Right. If we had put out wingspan and it looked just like it did now, I'm not even sure it would do as well as it's doing now. If you know, if there are a lot of companies that could have done wingspan and not had it blow up like that, I think, because they don't have the following, right? Like they didn't have their scythe, right? They didn't have however many people like knocking down Jamie's door to buy whatever's to be interested in whatever's next.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there's a number of companies that could have put out wingspan and it would have done fine, but it wouldn't have had that production quality because I don't know. It's a little. Some might argue it's over the top on production quality, and other publishers might not have gone so far as to, as Jamie did, and in which case, maybe it would have taken. Maybe that's part of it, right? Like, if, so yeah, I don't.
The Splendor
we're not
was
going to have a
successful
wingspan
off of those poker chips. I mean, that was the key to Splendor's success.
Yeah.
Right. That's another example, right? The Splendor is a solid game, but like. Do people play it as much if it didn't have if those poker chips were cardboard?
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know. But yeah. So that said, I don't think we're in a position to have a wingspan where it comes out where we print a 10,000K print run and it's not enough. Like
yeah.
I think we, in my opinion, and I don't know if I'm not speaking for the company because I don't really know if it's the goal of the company, but I have been saying that should be our aspiration. We should try to get to a point where we can print 10,000 units of a game that we think is going to be good. And I think that's the we're never going to have a wingspan until we're printing 10,000 in the first place, right? And then as far as like terraforming Mars, like I think that's a different situation. Maybe it's similar. I'm not really sure how Stronghold is doing. I mean, I guess people just really like terraforming Mars. But,
yeah, I think that one is that is more just. I mean, because it's ugly as all get out.
Yeah.
There's no track record of the designer.
Inconsistent. The designers aren't super well known, or they are now, I guess. But and the game is like $70 or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's jumping off the shelves, and I'm not really sure. I actually think that's a little bit different. I think that Steven does a lot of marketing and pushes real hard on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's where I think he gets his reach from. Is he's works real hard on getting in the stores and getting well known. He's on every podcast and he's built up.
Well, I mean, in that regard, that's not too far. I mean, there is a cult of personality around Jamie. I mean, Jamie spent years cultivating his own personal brand as Mr. Mr. Kickstarter. I'm the guy who helps everybody in the industry and gives all my secrets away for free and
right. So I think, so
and that's what elevated viticulture much higher than I think it ever would have been before.
So the common thing there is
it wasn't my video.
So I guess the common thing there is both Bonacor and Segmeyer have a following. I think they went about it in much different ways.
Yeah.
But the result is they've got a following and they sell a bunch of games whenever something comes out, whenever their big title comes out. So it's I mean, it's not a secret. Like all the Kickstarter advice ever since 2011 or so was build a following and then go on Kickstarter. And TMG's got a following. Like we've got some following. I don't know what we're doing differently that we could be doing better in order to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question, what do you do to cultivate that following? Like, I mean, I know I don't think Queen does it anymore, but it used to be that they were really good. I mean, because I used to back Queen games like crazy before I was filming stuff, and they were really good about, okay, you're our hardcore Queen fans, you get advanced knowledge, we're going to let you know when it launches, and we're not actually going to tell anybody else, so that you'll be there on the first day before anybody else can get in, because they did first day early birds and stuff like that. I know Ludicreation tries really, really hard to generate a look, you're Ludonauts or whatever they call them, to get that kind of family feel that, I mean, our next game is an event that you will care about and want to keep coming back. And you're right, you have that same kind of thing. And I imagine anything you deluxify is going to have an implicit excitement level around it because you have established yourself as the deluxifiers now. Yeah, but how do you leverage that? Because again, I mean, that's still more about the game and not about the personality. I know Michael used to do more podcasting. I mean, that's kind of Lance now is the personality, but really, it seems like you put Lance forward less and you put the dragon forward more, really.
Change the logo.
Yeah, I don't know. I think part of the thing is like Michael's sort of an introvert. He's not interested
Yeah.
in getting out there like Stephen Bonacore is, and he's not.
Michael has
and
not
him,
developed a faux adversarial relationship with the number one, board game video
God.
guy in the industry.
Every time I listen to Board Game Insider, that annoys me when Bonacore inevitably brings up, Tom Vastel doesn't like fun, or Tom Vastel never thought our podcast would get more than 10 views, which
I
is
can
obviously
only assume it's a big help.
it's so annoying, right?
Everybody knows it's make believe, or actually maybe not everybody, but it does still it personalizes him and humanizes him and gets you more immediately interested in anything Stronghold is doing, because you know the person behind it and you feel connected. It's
I guess
any restaurant that doesn't put the life story of the mama who came from the old country to found this restaurant is missing a huge trick to get people more excited about eating there. If they feel like, I've got a personal connection to the person who's behind this, that's pretty big. That's important.
Yeah, and I think too, earlier, less so now, but we've got more people involved. But when it was just me and Mike, I mean, we're not the most personable people sometimes, so we don't.
You're not carnival barkers.
We're not PR. We're not PR people, right? So when Kickstarters, I mean, we did decently, we did very well on Kickstarter with Committed to Maine at the time, and we've done very well on Kickstarter with various things, but like, we're not real PR people, and it's challenging for us to maintain sort of a good PR front when in the face of these, even though we know it's probably a minority of people. Mike's pretty good at, like, how should I say? So, like, realizing and not getting bothered by like some random person like complaining, and not, he doesn't like let him. It doesn't. Some people will see a few people complaining and they'll think like, everyone's complaining, but he has a good job of knowing or recognizing that it's not everybody. It's a vocal minority type of thing.
Right.
But neither he nor I are very good at like PR and like forward facing and whatnot. And so there are a lot of things over the TMG, and Michael in particular has kind of like innovated quite a bit on Kickstarter. Everyone gives lots of credit to Jamie for doing that, because he writes about it and because he's personable about it. But like, there weren't really stretch goals.
The guy did a live stream every day for like months and months.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he still appears on Dice Tower every week saying, "Hey, here's my favorite mechanism." Presenting him as, I'm a gamer, and let me tell you about all these cool games.
Yeah, Jamie does a ton of that, but people give, like, because of his Kickstarter like lessons and whatever, and they're like, nobody innovates on Kickstarter like Jamie Stegmaier.
Well, he doesn't do Kickstarter anymore.
Don't recognize or remember
he's
that.
Done with Kickstarter.
He doesn't use Kickstarter.
He hasn't done Kickstarter in the past 2 projects.
Right. People don't talk about or perhaps remember or notice that Michael was on the forefront of like innovate. Like, there weren't stretch goals until Kings of Air and Steam happened, and when we did it, people didn't like it because we were upgrading the entire print run, not just their copies or whatever. And then so we do something that's largely unprecedented. We take a lot of crap for it. Other people say, that looked, they take the good parts of it and they run with it. And then now everyone loves stretch goals or whatever. That's just a minor example, but like, stuff like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And
that's a fair point. But I mean, and the thing is, TMG has never had a face. I mean, the majority of people. I mean, I'll be honest. I've met Michael several times, and I am having a hard time visualizing him in my head right now. I mean, I don't think I've actually seen Michael an image of him for years.
He's pretty quiet.
Yeah, and and you're right. That's just it's a reflection of him. But I mean, I come from the video game industry. Peter Molyneux's secret sauce was, he was. I mean, every magazine, every video game magazine wanted him on the cover because every gamer in the world knew what he looks like. And we're used to him talking and talking very excitedly and passionately about whatever he's going to work on next. And he made a career out of that. And Jamie has made a career out of it. And you could say Stephen in a different kind of presentation, but still it's the same kind of thing. There's that underlying, I don't mean it in a bad way, but creates a cult of personality that people are immediately invested because they feel like they have a human connection.
Yeah, it's true.
I also have another suggestion.
What's that?
Yeah.
Quadruple your art budget. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like art is like the number one thing I think that people spend.
So you're
on
saying
it.
that you just can't spend enough on it for the returns you get.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Get the best artist. Get the best artist. Because that's the buzz, right? When you have the image to share, that's like the spectacular image of the game.
Yeah.
That like is
That's true.
And people. Here's the deal. No one knows how these games play. I don't know how any of these games play, but you go look at a game. What's the game that just? Rado, you did a run through.
I was gonna say you're breaking my heart, man. I tried
no,
really
no,
hard.
no. You do no, but like, God, there was something recently that I hadn't seen you do a run through yet. It was sort of like the next Splendor. I can't remember the name of it.
Was it Space Explorer?
No.
Is it the 3rd Century game?
No. God, I wish I had it on tip of my tongue. Crap. Anyway, their art is really cool. Their layout is spectacular. Like the cards are really nice. It's not Century. It's like it. I'll find it.
It was like Kanagawa or something like that.
Yeah, it's something recently, and they had a pretty big Kickstarter for a very what looked like didn't. If I'm being honest, didn't push the Euro any higher than what it already was. It was just an engine builder game.
Mm-hmm.
It's set in like a dystopian future. Like it's something recent. I can't remember. Let me see if I've got it. Catalyst? Is that the one? Hold on.
Yeah, if you look at all the big popular games now, it's all about the art and the components.
Yeah.
I just received a copy of Grim Forest from a friend, and that game could be just tiles and cards, but it's not. It's minis, it's figurines, it's big over the top.
That was a big Kickstarter.
Here's the deal. Pret-a-Porter was not a popular game. And it just raised $212,000. Like there was significant complaints about that game, as I recall.
Yeah, but
and now they've got Quanchai artwork, right?
That was also
10 years later.
10 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the industry's changed a lot since then.
I don't know.
That's one thing I don't like about Portal is they keep redoing their games from in the beginning. You know.
Also, for you guys, you do a lot of reprints, right? Like half your is like Japanese reprints or some other game. Just start getting new stuff.
Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, get some new stuff.
Yeah, are you doing new art for Emperor's Choice? Because the art is not great.
Yeah. All new art, yeah.
Yeah.
Same artist. Actually, it's the same artist that did Pioneer Days and the new Old West Empresario, but it looks it's a different style for sure. It's like a watercolor style.
What did Cleopatra make? $351,000 for Cleopatra, which, as I recall, when it came out, was not like a critical success. But they redid all the artwork. They made this huge, massive production. That just tells me that it doesn't matter what the game is, honestly.
Well, at the end of the day,
I mean, obviously, you need a good game. You do need a good game, otherwise you're just completely out.
Something that backers can feel confident about.
Batman.
They can never be 100% confident.
Or get a really popular.
But at the very least, they know it looks great. And if it looks great, that ups the chance that if they put that much money and effort and development into how much it looks, think how much it must play. Of course, I'm sure plenty of people cynically say, "Oh yeah, they put all their money into that. And they didn't put any money into the actual gameplay, which is what's important." And you can tell the best games are the ones that are plain Janes because they knew what was really important. But I think that is a minority opinion, definitely.
Yeah.
Just amongst the hardcore.
I've recently suggested that we consider spending more money on art. I think it's I basically agree with you guys 100%. There's so many games coming out, and that so many of them do have. I don't know if they're paying more for art or if those French guys work for peanuts or what.
Both, yeah.
Both. Well, and I mean, we were talking about Stegmaier and Wingspan, which of course is gorgeous. As much as anything else, couldn't have been successful without Scythe. Scythe was successful because of that art. Scythe was a phenomenon because of that art. Long before anybody knew anything about the gameplay, they had already decided to pay whatever it costs because of that art.
Yeah,
because it was so evocative.
And then there was the whole yammer of the gameplay style, the way that it mixed the two battle elements and the harvesting. They kind of work and replace it. There was a lot of hoo-ha over that. People saying, "No, it's a crap game because of." It doesn't work. I want combat. I've got mechs. I want to blow shit up.
Yeah.
That generated another snowball of controversy, which made, especially over here in France, Scythe very popular because there was just this big debate about whether the mechanisms were right for the game.
Well, that was his 4X game. It's missing it.
I actually backed Scythe for a different reason. I mean, the art was nice, but I don't care. I love lots of games that have bad art. I'm more interested in the mechanisms. I know a lot of people say that and don't mean it, but I mean, sure, better art is better, but that's not why I backed it. I actually backed it because I wanted to reward. I thought Jamie did a really good job. His previous game,
Between Two Cities.
What's that?
Between Two Cities was pretty good.
No,
You mean Viticulture?
Euphoria. So Euphoria.
Oh, Euphoria, sure.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was underdeveloped, and as it actually, I think he redid the card deck because it was underdeveloped. It actually sparked my best game design article I think that I've written, which was how to balance game elements. I wrote an article about that, and it was partly because of Euphoria. Anyway, but I thought I felt like he learned his lesson and did a really good job with Scythe, with the way he did it, with all those blind testing groups and very organized, and very whatever. I wanted to reward the effort because I felt like he did a good job. I bought it, and I think I still have it in shrink wrap. I played it once, but somebody else's copy. I don't think I don't think I've even opened mine, which is a kind of a bummer. But that was a specific reason that I backed that. Partly to have it, but mostly because to reward the effort.
I cannot find that game I'm looking for. That's so incredibly frustrating. I thought you did a run through, Rado.
Is it Gizmos?
No.
Wait, it was some engine builder that
it's like an engine builder. Like you build up your cards, they get stronger, and it's all cube pushing and very formula.
Oh.
It looked like
the Le Boîte de Jeu.
Yes, it's
Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life. Yeah, didn't you do that, Rado? I thought you did.
I did. Yes,
Yeah,
Wonderful Life is
Wonderful Life.
Great. Yes.
Right, but look at their art.
Is it?
I mean,
really
but if you really look into the game, it looks interesting, but it doesn't push the bar.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No. It doesn't reinvent any wheels at all. It's really a good, solid engine builder. With a couple
it's a wonderful world. It's a wonderful world.
I searched for Wonderful Life on BGG and I got something called It's a Wonderful Life from 1990.
wonderful world.
1998. It's a 4.0 on BGG.
Yeah.
Yep, It's a Wonderful World has really great presentation, a really striking box cover.
Oh wow, the box cover looks. I've seen a few box covers like this where it's like left, right, or half.
Have they?
One color, another color.
Did they kickstart Wonderful World? I guess not.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was a Kickstarter game.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that art's pretty good.
Why do I know that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Wonderful World box cover. I mean, doesn't it do the orange blue thing?
Yeah,
all successful movie posters do. Yeah, and
it reminds me of what was that game?
If you really analyze the game, turning cubes from one color into another color and making cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But look at the art. 290,000 euros. I mean, I'm not making this up. I feel the artwork is so important now.
It reminds me of Path of Light and Shadow a little bit.
And again, that's part of the reputation of the company as well. They've worked themselves up. What did you? I was there at the beginning.
They've only had one other. Before that, they did Netatonka, I think, right?
No, they've got lots of titles. They did Outlive, which was, I think, their biggest one. Clash of Rage, Netatonka.
Netatonka. I guess Netatonka was the only one I cared about.
No, yeah.
So
go back to Outlive. Go back to Outlive. That's where they really broke through. 5,771 backers. Artwork and presentation on that is huge.
That was all about the amazing.
I've never heard that the game was that. I mean, I heard it was fine, but it was not like a break.
No, the game is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Is it like God, you got to play this game?
Yeah, you got to play it. It's a good worker displacement game. It's very different. Feels very different to everything else that I've played. And again, it's got that Fallout feel where you're managing your shelter.
Yeah. They still owe me a deluxe version of that game that they never gave me.
Which one?
Do you want me to reach out to them?
No, they don't have it anymore. I mean, but I remember I did that video for them, and they were like, "Oh, we'll send you a deluxe version." And then when I was like, "Where is it?" and they're like, "Oh, we don't have any more." And I was like,
Oh no.
"Oh." And I was like, and then they didn't even offer to send me like a retail version. And I
You
was
need
just like,
contracts, man.
Read the comments, Lance.
Okay, so that was a Miguel Coimbra artwork. You got to get the top tier artists. Spend the money. You'll get paid back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you guys are already ahead of the curve in terms of gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in saying that. I mean, you guys have that down. You're one of the most reliably consistent and dependable. If they put their logo on the box, it is going to be a fun, solid game with legs. And I think you can definitely own that. And you also own, yeah, wow, they knocked it out of the parks with their deluxification. But still, you're deluxifying average looking games. I mean, I love Clemens Franz. I mean, I think he's a beautiful man, and I find his art to be incredibly nostalgic and warm and charming. But he doesn't sell. His art doesn't sell games. Unlike Michael Coimbra or any of the new hot, or all the hot artists out of France and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you need a hook, a cube tower,
or you need a Stefan Feld, which I know you guys had one, but that was a reprint of a game that already had come out.
Aquasphere wasn't a reprint.
Which one?
Yeah, Aquasphere was not. I was more thinking of Delphi, and the other one that hasn't shipped yet. What's the name of that one? Luna. Didn't you guys reprint Luna last year?
Yeah, we did. We have a deluxe version of it
coming, right?
Yeah.
Not out yet.
Yeah, it does feel cheap to say it, but I mean, Aldi's right. I mean, the fact that you guys are as successful as you are with good quality art as opposed to mind-blowing art is a testament to just what a great shop you are. And but yeah, I mean, other developers are running rings around you in terms of presentation, and when people are just blind faith putting $50 or $100 down, they can't trust the gameplay, but they can. Oh my God, that's so pretty! I have to touch it.
So two questions about that. One, do you feel like Crusaders is above the bar?
I think yes. Crusaders had such Crusaders were incredibly evocative. So much of that success had to be with that blood red board. That
which
was
is
so
weird because a
bold.
lot of people, a vocal minority perhaps, complain like crazy about the blood red board. But anyway,
yep.
So okay, because that is one that people were plunking down $100 bills to get the deluxe version at Origins.
You got the 330,000 on that.
On Kickstarter, yeah, and then people were buying it up on.
You basically want to make like 300,000 to 400,000 per game, right?
Ideally,
in that area.
And then
why not 700,000?
Well, then you got to put minis in it, dude.
Yeah.
My second comment is I totally agree with all the stuff you're saying about the artwork, but Richard, when you say like other developers are running around circles around us with artwork, there's also people like Stronghold that are selling Terraforming Mars that has worse artwork.
But that game is
and costs more.
One of those outstanding games, right? Like
is that a exception to the rule? That's not a common.
Is the once a decade game that breaks the rule.
Yeah,
because I guess if I think about it, like Stronghold does a lot of games, and they don't all hit like Terraforming Mars hits.
No, it's
not all super evergreen.
You need an eminent domain 2. That's what it is.
1 in 5,000, I'll say. Right. Every few years, something comes out that's just like special.
It's zeitgeist. It defines. It becomes the high watermark that people judge all of the games by. And that's. I mean, there's no real way to anticipate that. But as you pointed out earlier, I mean, Steve Bonacore. I mean, he probably busted the midnight oil pushing that everywhere, and he had he was paying in years on the Dice Tower as the number 3 guy that everybody knows and loves. So that didn't hurt either.
Yeah,
that doesn't hurt his current business, right? Terraforming Mars went beyond.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How much? Yeah, they backed 504, which that was a hard sell.
Yeah, I mean Terraforming Mars.
I actually bought that.
They're in business.
I actually bought that as like a
Friedemann?
Case study type of thing, and I
Every
kind of
game that you make should be better than the 504 version of that game, right?
Well, I was thinking that it might be the case where I could like play a combination in 504 and get inspired to make a better version of that.
I'm sure I remember when they first did 504, when they were started going through the numbers. Several of the games were going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to turn this into a full game. Like we're going to take that core and make it a game. But I don't know if that ever happened.
I don't know. I was thinking I might do that, but I never did. I don't think I've ever played my copy of 504 either. I played it at BGCon.
I don't understand the hate for it. I think there was some good games in there.
Really?
All the ones I played were fine.
Huh. I think it was a really great game for developers. It is literally a game made for other game makers.
Yeah,
because I think you have to be a game maker to appreciate what makes it a special experience.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't have bought it as a gamer probably.
Yeah.
So where is it now? Where's 504 now? It kind of like generated a huge amount of buzz, and then it popped and fizzled out.
They did it
on my shelf in shrink wrap. Actually, it's probably out.
Seth the shrink wrap man.
So
well, and now, like back then, I actually played games all the time. Now I don't. So it's even worse. Having it doesn't help me at all now.
Yeah.
Well, you could just set it up and kind of run through the turns solo.
Yeah.
That's weird that you say it's not that fun. I guess the ones I played were fun. But it's also
there is a luck of a draw element to that, and when it boils right down to it.
Yeah. If they sold the deluxeified Terraforming Mars big box, it would make millions. Well, I'm sure it's coming, Paul. Don't count them out.
On the last Board Game Insider, Steven was commenting on that, whether they were going to, someone asked in their questions or whatever, that whether they do a deluxe version or whatever. And
it's coming.
He said they wouldn't. They didn't want to really release the same content, but deluxe. But he's got something in the works. And I was like, is he thinking this big box with all the things in it? Or no, apparently there's new content. I'm not exactly sure what he's got in mind, but
I don't know if you remember, but about a year ago, he spoiled something huge.
Oh, did he?
You guys remember? No. I don't know if I want to bring it back up again because you guys forgot.
Do it.
Whatever.
I'm going to type it in chat because I don't want to spoil it again because he was really it was really upsetting.
So you're saying he spoiled one of his upcoming releases?
Yes.
Okay.
Has that release come out yet?
No.
Oh. Well, type it in the chat, and if somebody doesn't,
I typed
okay,
it
then I will go to the chat.
But someone in our chat will know because I know they follow Bonacore, right? Or maybe not. Maybe
really? I don't remember. I've never heard that at all.
It was a Tempest in a Teapot.
Not anymore. I used to be a big fan of Bonacore when in his early days. All his games were good, but now he just seems to be everywhere and snapping up.
It's in the YouTube chat now too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to it.
Well, that'd be the thing that it would take to get me to play it.
Have you not played the base game?
I played it. It was fine.
Yeah.
It's way too freaking long for what it is, and there's no player scaling for 2. It's kind of crap at 2, I think. Just because because 2 players have to do the work of 4 players. And by the time it's over, you're like, geez, I can't even see the table under all the cards I personally played, and I have no sense of connection to it because I did everything.
You never really build a connection to your engine unless you get like the pets and the animals and all that stuff going like that.
And I'm not a hype monster.
Terraforming Mars, that is an interesting. It's cheesy to say it, but Terraforming Mars was in the right place at the right time too. The Martian was a monster hit movie.
Oh, yeah. The Martian.
And Terraforming Mars was the really good board game that came out right at the same time that probably Martian came out on home theater.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everybody else was a year late, except for that one other Martian game that just wasn't anywhere near as good as Terraforming. Well,
there's the one from Batal is not out yet.
Yes.
On Mars.
And it's way late.
Ignacie's Mars was sort of buggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there was another Mars game which I was super excited about, and then it came out, and then no one talked about it.
Yeah.
So I just assumed it wasn't great.
I don't know. They talk about it like it does well for them. So I guess
No, not Ignacie's. The other one I'm talking about, which was
not familiar.
I will find it. Have you guys seen Tiny Forming Mars?
No.
Yeah.
Is that like a micro game?
Bonacor should get that deal yesterday. Like sign it and make it. It's a 2-player version of Terraforming Mars.
Oh, the same way that my Little Pony Scythe thing.
Yeah.
Kind of. A long time ago, I had an idea for a game about Terraforming Mars, but like I never finished it. I barely even started it, really. I had some ideas for it. It was kind of based on A Case for Mars, a Wikipedia page for it. And I don't know, I never did anything with it. And then everyone's like, Mars. And I was like, oh, I should have finished that game a couple of years ago, and then I'd be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
But I never did, and I probably never will.
Damn, I can't find that Mars game now.
Yeah.
It's not even
You
ranked.
missed your Mars window.
Yeah.
I still think the Mars games can be made.
Can be what?
I think there's still a market for Mars.
Yeah. It's not, that's like
think?
saying the zombie window has passed.
Yeah, the zombie window has not passed.
I did one thing at Essen a couple of years ago. Whenever they had just found water on Mars, kind of, or ice or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that in the news? I made that year for Essen. I made business cards. On one side, it had like my friend Ariel made them for me. It had my picture, like my face, and like a list of games that I had made, like Eminence Domain and whatever, and just a list of all the games I'd worked on, whatever, and like my email address. And on the other side was a card that you could use in Eminence Domain. It was Mars, and it had it was like a red planet, like advanced what's it called, metallic planet in Eminence Domain, the red ones, and it was called Mars, and it had a water, like it produced water, and that was my I was like, here's a promo card or whatever. It didn't matter. It had a rule. I think it had a rule across the top that said something like, when you survey, you can take this instead or whatever.
Paul Tompkins to the rescue again. Martians: A Story of Civilization.
Yeah, I know. I saw him type that, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Paul Tompkins is on the ball today.
Epic Gaming Night. Somebody give me a heavily thematic Mars game. Yes, give me some theme. Don't make it just terraforming or colonizing. Like, do some kind of fun.
The seventh continent Mars.
Like John Carter Mars or whatever. Was it John Carter? What was
that's what the Ignacy Trevchek's Mars one was. It was the heavily narrative driven Robinson Crusoe in space.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, it was
Did you play the envelope versions? Do you ever dig into those?
I didn't play it at all because I when I read about it, the fundamental problem with that game, from what I saw of it, that I knew my wife would absolutely hate, is it's an entire game of leaks springing all over, and you're just constantly having to plug all the leaks, as opposed to getting to build something. You're just trying to constantly repair something that's breaking down, and there's nothing fun about that.
So you may want to play the envelope.
Oh, okay.
Because
that sounds very mysterious.
It mimics The Martian.
Oh, really?
Spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
And voiced by Rich Sommer.
Oh, really?
Someone that really sounds like Rich Sommer, but I don't know if it's really Rich Sommer. But I think it might be. So it's there, but you basically... God, should I spoil it? Nah. I don't want to spoil it. It turns into The Martian, though. You have to go rescue him, which is cool. But the game had so many little clunky errors that every time we look at the rulebook, we're like, every 5 minutes we look in the rulebook. Like every time you do that, you're like, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to play it. It eats. You have this level of how much can I tolerate of pain, and then eventually you just I can't play this anymore. But there was some cool stuff in the envelopes, which I don't know. I bet maybe 5% of the people saw. Because it basically tells you, do not open this. And it's funny because we opened it first. That was the first thing we opened. Because we don't play games that much. Like if we play a game, we don't play it. We don't play it that much, right? So we just want to see all the secrets. So we started with that. And I wrote Ignacy a couple questions that day. And he's like, wait, you open the envelope first? I'm like, yeah, because that's I don't think I'm going to play this that much, so I want to see hidden stuff.
All right, so you've read all the cards on the seventh continent. You've gone, okay, that's number 7.
No, we played seventh continent. Although I think I killed my group off of it last time we played. We played the balloon one.
Yeah.
And that is so hard. Have you
Okay.
played it at all?
Not yet. I started.
It's so hard. And they all here's the weird thing. It's been a year since we played. We broke the game out. Nobody remembered anything except me.
Wow.
So I'm constantly like reminding everybody how to play it. And that was super frustrating because I thought they all remembered.
Mm-hmm.
And we just jumped in and then they're like, well, how do I do this? I'm like,
that's the same thing over and over again.
It was a very frustrating gaming session. And we basically saw 3 cards in the game. We played for 3 hours. Now we saw a lot of cards in those 3 cards, right? You see a lot of stuff that gets drawn out.
Yeah, because there's one shot.
There's a thing at the beginning, which I don't want to spoil, that can take you down like a 5-card path.
Mm-hmm.
And we followed it all the way through because we want to see secrets. You're not going to abandon, like if you go down 3rd card, you're like, well, there's a 4th card. Well, you're like, no, I'm not going to turn back now. I want to see the 4th card. I want to see the 5th card. We did that. But then at the end of the game, they hated it because we took off in the balloon and we started dying and we just it was super hard.
Wow.
I was like, okay, game over. It was a Keith Collins moment. He got eaten by sharks, and the first time he played it, he's like, fuck this game.
Yeah, because he stuck his hand in everywhere like I do. So, oh, yeah, what's that over there? Oh, explore that. Oh, no, that's dangerous. Oh, explore this. Oh, no.
Yeah, you got your hand chopped off or whatever. Yeah. Like you get a thing, like you're bleeding.
Wounded.
Yeah. So we were all paranoid. We were all like cold. We were all bleeding by the end of that first hour.
I dislike stuff like that where it's like if there's an exploration type aspect to a game, but you get negative effects. This happened to me when we were a couple of years ago at Gen Con. Lance, remember when we did True Dungeon?
Yeah.
So we went and like it's kind of like little escape rooms. It's kind of a cool feature or a cool thing, but in one of the rooms, I don't know, there was this contraption and it wasn't clear what it did or what it was supposed to do or what we were supposed to do with it. And so I started fiddling with it, and the GM comes over and says, "Oh wait, what'd you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, whatever." I had tried to remember. I press this button, I pull this lever. And he goes, "Oh, okay. First you get shocked, take some damage. Then you pull the lever, so the thing drops on you. Whatever, takes more damage." I like basically died. I took a bunch of damage because I started fiddling with the thing, which I guess the correct move would have been don't touch anything. In which case,
until you know how to touch it.
Well, you had to pass the lore check.
It makes sense in a respect, but it's not real life. It's a game. So similarly, I don't know. I haven't played Seventh Continent, but if I were playing a game where there was an exploration element and I was just supposed to not explore, like that would be super lame. Same thing on D&D, like or role playing video games where you don't just not explore rooms in case there's something bad in them. You go and see what there is. Like that's how it works. You don't want to not do that. So like, if you put a bunch of bad stuff in the rooms, then I just don't want to go in any of the rooms because why would I want to run in this room and die? That's like lame. So yeah, I think maybe that's why I don't like that kind of game, or I certainly wouldn't like the kind of game.
I like it kinda. Like I like pain in games like that sometimes.
I don't know. That's not my type.
When you get to too much pain where you can't do anything, then it's too much. But we just had a huge stroke of bad luck at that game.
Yeah, it does happen.
It happens.
Hey, not to randomly and arbitrarily change the topic, but I see something about Daimaker coming out.
Yeah,
isn't that on Kickstarter now? Oh yeah, that's another one.
Actually,
first of all, I have never
really surprised at how much money that game raised.
That's another example of a game that like it was popular back in the day. I guess
it was never popular.
What
it game? It was
Daimaker. 6-hour game. How can that be popular?
Well, okay, maybe not popular, but it was well known and high regarded.
Sure.
Ever since I've been playing games. Right. However, I mean, by at least a certain group of people. I've never played it.
It's good. It's really great. It definitely earns its reputation.
And that's another one where every time Bonacker talks about it, he plays up the it's street cred. It was the first game entered onto
number one
BGG. It's game number 1. Did you guys do that because Daimaker was awesome, or because it happened to be the first one you put in? I'm curious.
So it was based on session reports. So my partner, you know my partner, right?
Yeah.
He wrote a bunch of session reports back in the day, like of games, and that was the first one that came across
Like it happened to be first, or did he like that game a lot? Or
Yeah, we all liked that game. It was a big popular game, but we didn't get to play it that often, right? Because it's a 6-hour game.
So what I'm getting at is the fact that it was first on the list, that is number one, relevant at all, or did it happen?
Not as much.
It could very easily have been.
Yeah, I mean, all the first games were the ones that were in your guys' personal collections, I believe, right?
Yes, it was basically us going through our collections day by day.
Like, are there any other games that it could very well have been number one in the BG database?
For me, it would have been Tigers. Cities.
Yeah,
but you were ended up number 42 by just sheer luck.
Okay, I was wondering if there was anything to like. That's another one of those things.
There was no order. I mean, it was basically like, okay, we've got a session report for this game. Create the game. We got a session report for this game. Create the game.
Oh, I see.
And then
so
they
were just
yeah.
The order was just basically chosen by what you happen to be playing at that point.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, we played this game yesterday, so that's the next one that goes in. And you played it not for reasons other than it's just what you felt like playing.
Or I ordered it from Germany, and like we need an entry. Like.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you look at the first 500 games on BGG, you can see my order of ordering games from Europe.
Yeah. So why did Mocker blow up so much?
Don't know.
Because it was the first game ever entered in the BGG database,
I guess. But
is that one just the case? Because I mean, everybody, I mean, myself included, this is one of those old games. We've just heard it's nothing but the most amazing thing ever, which is obviously rose-tinted glasses and nostalgia looking back at it. And so this is our chance to finally play this amazing modern classic that we'll never get to see otherwise, right?
I will be interested to see how the ratings change at DMocker after.
Oh, they're going to go up like crazy before this game comes out.
3,000 people who get the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what they've changed in the game. No idea. Now it's only like 4 to 6 hours. I guess you could play it quicker if you have like less players.
Yeah. Is it just the fact that they can say with a straight face in their second sentence on their Kickstarter page, released in '86 and quickly gained legendary reputation?
Yeah, but which kind of legendary reputation?
It doesn't matter.
Legendary reputation of a porn star or a pop star,
Who cares? Those are both awesome reputations. Yeah. Plus, I mean, hey, it's kind of has a little bit of that, right place at the right time. I mean, interest in hardcore political simulation these days is going to draw a lot more attention than it would have in 2009.
Yeah, I kind of wish they took the mechanisms from the game and made it a game. Honestly,
like restoration games might.
Yeah, if it was restoration, because I think the game is good, but then the theme is bone dry.
Hey,
and also they have the seventh continent. Oh, you have to back this now, or you'll never have it. We're telling you right now, this will not be for sale any place except this Kickstarter. So
yeah, but now it is.
It's the same thing as Batman, same thing as Seventh Continent. That's huge. If you can get them interested in it, and the FOMO kicks in. Oh well, I have to back this. I have no choice.
Yeah, 30-day window.
Yeah.
It irks me the bragging that it was the first one entered into the database. That's like bragging that you funded in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or that you exceeded your funding goal by 300% when funding goals are arbitrary numbers that you pick out of nowhere.
I mean, it is a meaningful stat to crow about, though. If your fundamental USP for this game is legendary status, the fact that it is the first game in the database contributes to that legendary status.
For sure.
Yeah. The first game, Tom Bassel gave a 4 to.
I've only played it twice.
Hey, Scott, do you know those guys that do that Brain Game podcast?
No, I don't.
What is the guy's name? Let me look it up. Do you know Trey Alsop? These are people who live in LA, so you might know them. Oh wait, they come to BGGCon. You don't live in LA. They come to BGGCon though. At least Trey does. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Never mind. You might not know these people. I know you know some of those LA folks.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Trey Alsop. How do you spell it?
ALSUP.
Yeah, I see you're friends with him. I do not recognize him. Thank God for Facebook.
Thank God for the downfall of Western society.
What exactly? What would we have done before?
So these guys from LA have a podcast. It's some guy in his game group. Actually, it's a pretty decent podcast. It's a guy in his game group. So the main guy always has every week or whatever they come out with a podcast, and he has a different member of his game group that's like the co-host for that week.
Okay.
And they each have like a personality. Like there's Trey is the game designer type, and there's a guy that's like the rules lawyer guy who's like, into rules. And there's a guy that's like the non-gamer because he's like he's there to play with his friends and doesn't care as much about the game, whatever. And it's all these different types of people, and it's a pretty cool format actually for a podcast. Considering it's very similar to other couple guys talking about their games podcast. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is because their most recent episode was all about they talked a lot about Democker, and some of apparently there's a big difference in the rules that they said is a big deal, such that they wouldn't play the new version.
Really?
Yeah, I've just clicked the link to their Facebook page for their podcast.
I don't remember the game well enough to know the rules, the minutia of it, right? Like
I don't know the rules at all, but
I remember it was like a file that we had from 2000 that I used.
Yeah. But anyway, so for people who are listening to this conversation about Democker and are interested in more information about Democker, maybe listen to the most recent podcast. It has some more information about it. But yeah, it's they're real fond of the game, but apparently there's a change made. The game's like a 4-hour game, right? And it takes probably an hour to teach you something. And so they said this change they made is like simplifies some stuff, so it like saves 15 minutes out of the teach, but it makes the game way less interesting for them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think it was worth it. It's still an hour-long teach.
Okay.
It's still a 4-hour game.
Oh yeah, I'm reading the reference card. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, that you used back in the day.
Yep, that file was uploaded on January 31st, 2001.
Matt Robinson apparently is the game brain. That's the guys, according to Drive Through Games. Thank you. Is that Joel?
Okay.
Yep.
I will be interested to see how the rating is affected, because 2,500 did they sell? And we're going to be probably selling some through the store. Changes the rating.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling the rating is going to get inflated
potentially
now and when the game comes out, and then after that, it might change them further because people tend to rate games highly once they've backed them.
It's probably like the most beastly Euro I've ever played.
Yeah.
And
that's good for them. They lean into it.
Yeah.
In the same way, Gloomhaven is the most ridiculously overstuffed box with everything in the kitchen sink, and that was a big part of its appeal.
But to play Gloomhaven,
fuck it, we're going overboard.
Right, but for Gloomhaven, you only need to play for an hour, one scenario, right, or two.
Oh yeah, no, Gloomhaven was successful in large part because it leveraged and leaned into a different form of excess.
Yeah.
But back to Emperor's Choice and what you guys need to do. It's too late now, but if you had Vincent Dutray art, you would explode.
Yeah, we need to start getting art earlier or something, because I've talked to for one of the games I'm working on. I'm not super thrilled with the art that we're getting, and I think we need to spend more and get a better artist and get better art. And I was talking about that, and I tried contacting like some of the artists that are well regarded, like Beth Sobel, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm booked out till the middle of next year."
Yeah, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I'll book you for that." I guess that's sort of
I should have booked her for the next time she's got availability, and then whatever we got at the time.
Yeah,
Lance, I'll remind you that you can hang up and we can keep talking.
Yeah,
I will remind you I don't trust you.
Okay. Then hang up, in worst case we all get hung up on and you don't care.
Well, no, well, fine. I'll just stop the broadcast. You guys can continue having your discussion if you so desire.
I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah,
but
wait, don't trust us to what?
No, I think you specifically.
Yeah.
Did you mean you don't trust them, right? And like if you hang up, you think we're all going to cut out? Or
no, I don't trust you to be live and stop and not say naughty things.
Michael took Lance aside and said, "Yeah, you need to watch this guy." That's why. That's the real reason Lance is here.
Yeah, that probably is. No,
hiring Beth Sobel. I don't know.
I of course appreciate the conversations, but I mean, my pain drugs are wearing off. I'm gonna go to sleep, so I don't have to take anymore. So, good conversations as always.
At the end of the rope.
I hope you feel better next week, Lance.
Yeah, feel better, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I hope you feel better in general, Barry.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye, Lance.
Bye.